Oh my gosh. First of all, I don't even remember how to do this anymore. I think it kind of goes like I think it kind of goes like it's Mister Young.
And it's foreign in the building, bro.
Hey, all right, we got it. Okay, it's like getting on a bicycle. Once you start going, you're like, okay, hey, it feels good, right? You get back into the flow. First things first, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. As you can see from my slightly shaved head.
Yes.
I've been having a nice 2.5 weeks holiday in the jungle.
That's right, serving the nation, protecting us as, it is. Let's say hello to everybody in chat, by the way. It's good to see everybody once again. I know we see y'all on the Discord all the time, but, when we do the live stream, it's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a more personal touch. And, it's so nice to, when people DM me when I'm in camp and say, I don't care how long it takes, you better come back and talk about this guy's firing, this guy passing away. Then I'm like, okay.
Oh, boy.
Don't worry, bro. Wait for it. And this is going to be a worthwhile episode, I'm pretty sure, right?
This, I don't even know where to start. Let's just say hello to everybody first. HS Lee, what's up? John Mouse, Rishi, Div Royalty, Jason, it's good to see everybody. If you're lurking there as well, we acknowledge you, my friends, even though that fella has been taking a bit of a break, which, you know what, is actually a good thing. I think there was a little bit too much Roman Reigns going on. Let him take a little bit of a break. Let us miss him a bit.
You know what? I would even dare say it's nice to have a break from the bloodline.
Yeah.
The stories that's kind of like covering up for them, right? It's still ongoing, man. The WWE or the AEW news cycle never ends.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it doesn't. It's not that we miss them too much, but it kind of. It's great for them to have a step back. Let them also cook for a bit, don't get too stale. While we focus on our other matters as well.
Let's talk about that news cycle. Okay, first things first, of course, rest in peace, Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt. I mean, even it's been a week, right? It's still like kind of boggles the mind that he's gone.
It's surreal, bro. It's really surreal because I think the last time we had reports was he was on the comeback trail.
Yeah.
And we never thought it's serious. When people say, oh, they're dealing with a health issue. Just a year ago, Keith Lee dealing with a health issue. We do not know the extent of it, right?
Yeah.
And now we do, and it's unfortunate that, we only find out when he's already passed away. So RIP, man. RIP.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it very often, right? That dude could talk us into a pay-per-view. He could talk you into the building, I mean, the last few matches aside, right, and how he was booked, more importantly, aside, I mean, he's definitely left that sort of indelible mark in the pro wrestling scene. I wouldn't be surprised if they induct him into the Hall of Fame soon.
Yeah, I mean, it feels weird to say this because he seems like he's just he's just a few years into like the main event scene. You feel like Bray Wyatt is pretty recent on our screens.
Yeah.
But lest we forget, right, his debut was SummerSlam 2013 on the main roster. That is a decade ago. It's 10 years, bro.
That was the Eater of Worlds stuff, right? Like that was the period where I stopped watching wrestling. So I wasn't there for his debut, for his, sort of swamp creature gimmick cult leader thing.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because actually, right, that feud, the Wyatt family with the Shield, that carried the company for like that 2 years. They were like the biggest thing. He was carrying a whole ton of momentum all the way until WrestleMania 30 when he kind of came up against the Superman brick wall that is John Cena.
Yeah,
and ever since then, we can say he has a kind of somewhat of a questionable booking since then, lah. But that first few years, that was magic, bro. And for those who were watching at that point in time, they saw what he was all about, his promos, his mystique, and like, oh, okay, this generation's Undertaker. Like,
yes,
that was what he was, right?
I wouldn't even say that, because, okay, the thing about the Undertaker was he had the mystique, but he not that he didn't have the promo, but he wasn't supposed to be promoting. He would just say 2-3 lines. Paul Bearer would be like, oh. So he wasn't even that sort of, like, yes, the mystique is there, but I think Bray Wyatt was a character unto himself. Like, the way he could draw you in. And we talked about it, his final feud with LA Knight, where he was, all right, come on, let's go. I want to see them fight. Of course, they dragged it out a little bit. And perhaps now that we look back, maybe there was a reason they didn't want to put him back in the ring so fast.
Yeah, maybe he was dealing with those issues when he was returning, right?
Yeah,
because he didn't step in the ring for a good 2-3 months before that match.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And then that's why we were like, hey, what's going on? This one, they're talking a bit too much already, But I guess now we know why.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if you think about it, right? If with the rivalry, as much as the match was panned, right?
Yeah.
That created the genesis of what we see with LA Knight today.
Yes.
That's like a great legacy, you know, for not just Bray Wyatt, but for LA Knight to say like, oh, I was the final opponent of Bray Wyatt, and for him to carry on to the main event after the fact. I think that's a great way of like, closing that chapter for Bray, if that was the case, right?
Absolutely. So I guess, what has been said, especially by all his colleagues, by the people around him, how he was such a nice guy. So sort of putting a bow on it, he'll definitely be missed. There will be no one quite like Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah. My favorite I would say tribute was Alexa Bliss's one.
Okay.
She posted a photo of, I think, her hugging the Fiend when he was Chowta.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, and it was so cute. But I think that's the thing about Bray, right? Bray made other people like, it's like how Roman Reigns carried people from the bloodline and brought them into the forefront. I think that really helped Alexa Bliss at that point in time. And I feel the stories that's been coming out about Bray, like Becky Lynch talking about how much of an influence he was.
Yep.
I can't remember who else like Bray welcomed them to the roster and make them feel at home. Like all these stories, no one has ever said a bad thing about Bray Wyatt as a person, right?
Yeah, no, he's just like the nicest guy according to everybody.
Yeah, so those are the kind of people that when they're gone, and to hear the stories that comes out after that, it just kind of reaffirms how great of a guy he was, despite the booking. To me, booking aside, he was a once in a generation talent, creative genius.
Yes,
and that will be his legacy in wrestling, for decades to come.
Yeah. Okay, so my question still remains, bro.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
You know what? Wait.
Do we do this chronologically? Do we do this by impact? And how can you argue which one had more impact? I mean...
Bro, I have the best segue, bro. I have the best segue, okay? From talking about one of the most beloved people in the world,
oh boy,
let's just jump right into talk about the most divisive, controversial people in the world. I think that's a great segue, bro. Might as well. Let's just jump in hot, bro.
Let's jump into the deep end, huh? So, obviously, we are talking about QT Marshall. No. And the factory. No, we are talking about CM Punk. Some people say, finally, get rid of him. He's a cancer in the locker room. He's a terrible influence. The other side of the camp is like, Sila, you deal with children. This is what happens. And the bad guys have finally won. Okay, I wonder if this will be a surprise to you, Foreign. But knowing that I was never really a fan of CM Punk, right?
Yep.
I've become more of a fan of CM Punk. And I solely stand on CM Punk's side on this. Actually, yes. Around, not maybe 90%. 10% I still blame other people. But 90% of the time I'm like, okay, you know what? This is probably better for CM Punk. It's probably better for AEW. But what I mean by that is it's better for the elite and that group of AEW. That's what AEW is. And I think I've finally come to grips with what AEW is and not try to look at it for what it could be. Right? I think the injection of CM Punk and all these main event guys, the expectation is that could be an alternative to the WWE, right? I think we all have held that sort of expectation for the longest time. Now it's like, okay, you know what? That's the final straw. The boys, the elite boys club are going to have their little club. They're going to hire their friends. They're going to do what they're going to do. And it was just never going to be a thing where CM Punk could last. It was never going to be, because they were always going to be in Tony Khan's ear. And I guess let's bring it back all the way to the start, I guess. Did you want to jump in with something before I go on a rant again?
Well, first of all, I'm pleasantly surprised that you are on Team Punk in this scenario. But I would dare say, knowing you, we've been friends for a while. This is exactly what, if in an ideal world, you would want to do, right? If it was you, right, in this situation, you'd be like, fuck everyone,
bro.
Bro, this is what you want to do, bro.
There are some people I would like to put in a headlock. There are some people I would like to tell them off, but you can't, because this is not pro wrestling. Real life is not pro wrestling. But bro, can you imagine? Let me just throw a wild theory out there, and I'm sure everyone has entertained this thought. What if this is the most amazing work that we've ever seen in pro wrestling? What if, bro? What if?
Bro, it's because of that one photo that leaked backstage. I don't know whether you saw after the match that CM Punk had with Samoa Joe. He actually took a backstage photo, hugging Samoa Joe with a referee and somebody, like I think Jerry Lynn as well. They had a group photo right backstage. So people were like confused, like, hey, wait, you're talking about him fighting and fighting. Why is this guy like happily taking photo with people backstage? You know what I mean?
Look, I think he's still friends with them. Or you can still be friends with the people working in the company, even if the company's management is jerking you around.
Yeah. That's very funny because like when the thing went down with CM Punk, right?
Yeah.
And of course I was watching All In live in camp. Don't tell anyone.
Oh.
Yeah. but when I was watching it live, right, I suddenly had Twitter blowing up, on the side. Talking about, another backstage altercation just happened. Like, guess what? CM Punk again is involved. And then I was thinking to myself, guys, stop it lah, guys. Stop it lah with these jokes lah. Can't be 1 year anniversary from the last time this shit happened. Something else happened. They're just busting our balls at this point. And then when I watched the press scrum and Tony Khan more or less confirmed, he said, something, the incident backstage just happened. We're discussing with legal under investigation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, never mind. Let's really understand what happened. So, of course, me being the intrepid journalist that I am, deep dive right in, look at all the reports, heard about the stories. Let's put context to the fact that, apparently, did you know that there was supposed to be like clear all meetings between the Elite and CM Punk, which last minute the Elite pulled out of right before. Did you hear about this story?
Yes. So I think what we should do, like you said, is set the scene, right? So that if you didn't realize this happened, this actually happened. And goes back to my point of why I'm actually on CM Punk's side on this. Because as a person, I don't know if you realize this, I just, in a corporate structure, hate cronyism. I am a person of like, if somebody brings merit to the company, you should promote them, help them, push them, whatever, right? And then you have the cronyism that is the Elite, and we'll get to that in just a second. But yes, to start, before they were supposed to fly to London, they were supposed to meet in, was it Atlanta, Georgia?
Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah, CM Punk and the Elite to sit down and talk with Tony Khan in the room to hash things out and possibly do business, right?
Yep.
So,
correct.
Or you could think of this meeting. Maybe it did happen, and maybe this whole thing is a work. Let's
rub on that theory for a bit.
Let's have it in our periphery because I really don't think this is a work. But if it was a work, that could be the genesis of the work, right? So they were supposed to freaking have their meeting. Meeting was cancelled by the Elite, right? So okay lah, CM Punk just chill, whatever, and then All In. They fly off to London. CM Punk lands in London Heathrow Airport, calls up the guy that is supposed to handle their transportation, right?
Yep.
He's a superstar. You're supposed to get a driver, go and pick up your superstar, go to the hotel, let them get to where they need to get to without fuss, right?
Yeah.
Not contactable driver. His transportation was not settled for whatever reason. So, for whatever, I don't know why he didn't just take an Uber or a cab or whatever, or Grab, but he ended up taking the tube to his hotel.
It's like I stuck at Changi Airport. I cannot get a Grab. Just take to Tanah Merah, take MRT.
If that happened to you or I, that's fine. But this is CM Punk, your main star, your draw. How can that even happen? So you have to think, right? He was probably in a very bad mood already, but apparently he was super nice on the tube. He was taking photos with fans.
For sure.
He's a nice guy. Like he's like chill, whatever, don't care already, right?
Yeah.
But I think that very thing was sort of the genesis of F this place. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, I need to take up an issue with what Jason said. So Jason said, I don't think the meeting was ever confirmed. It was a request of CM Punk's side, but the Elite did not want to do it. Let me correct that. CM Punk was in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know whether he was filming Heels or whatnot, but he traveled to Atlanta under the assumption that the meeting was still going to take place. The Elite pulled out at the last minute. If you read the reports, you check Brian Alvarez, check Fightful, right?
Yep.
The Elite pulled out last minute. So that means when CM Punk already flew in there. Okay.
Yep.
So sure, this might not be correct. And if that's not correct, then it's just bad reporting, right? But let's go with the narrative that CM Punk actually under the impression that this meeting is going to happen. Let's clear the air before the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
And suddenly the elite stood them out. Oh, okay, sorry, cannot. The one. Okay. He's like, fuck it. Because there were reports that he decided, okay, fine, from Atlanta, he's going to go home first, spend a day with his wife and his dog, then fly to London, right?
Yep.
So a few ways can look at it. Maybe he was so pissed off at that point. Fuck, I go to Atlanta, you don't come, I want to go spend time with my wife. If there wouldn't have been an issue if he wanted to go from Atlanta to London straight away, right? So why did he want to go back that one day? Could be he wanted to have a break before dealing with the nonsense of the weekend, right?
Yep.
So that's number one. Number two, right? Again, we found out, or the internet reporters or whoever that is very good at digging up shit found out that the person that apparently handles all the transportation is like a big mini young buck like Mark, right?
He's a young buck crony. You're gonna hear this word a lot out of me. Cronyism, right? Once again, it's something I absolutely despise in the working world. Hiring your friends, hiring your marks. In this case, yes, you're right. So the internet sleuths dug out that the person that was handling CM Punk's transportation is actually a big young bucks nut liquor ball carrier, whatever you want to call it. Like literally all his tweets on social media, he will like anything anti-CM Punk. He's posting photos of him with the Young Bucks dressed up like the Young Bucks. So it's you see the freaking connection here. It just so happens that the biggest star in your company doesn't have any transportation settled, and the person handling that transportation is a Young Bucks ball liquor. I mean, come on.
Right.
Come on.
Okay. Again, this could be a pure coincidence.
Sure.
Maybe he loves the Young Bucks, but he's gonna be professional about it, right?
But he really that day forgot. Really forgot. Sure.
So
okay.
My question is, why did Tony Khan ever come on the press conference and say, there was some travel issues with CM Punk, we apologize? Like, nobody explained that situation. Right.
Of course he wouldn't. Why would he say anything to indict himself? Tony Khan is already in bed with the Young Bucks, and it's very clear that he's taken a side. He's very clear.
Yeah, that's right. And okay, let's continue with the kind of lineup of events, right? That happened, right? So this CM Punk, yes, go take the tube. I saw lots of people, or lots of fans taking selfies with him, and he's like chilling with his luggage. I enjoyed seeing that lah.
Yeah.
So let's just assume that he did reach the show, and he was technically the first match on the card, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, after the buy-in lah, after the free
2 hours of buy-in, right? Yeah. And so now let's put yourself in CM Punk's mindset for a bit. Okay, I already stood over by the meeting on that day. Now I'm having travel issues. I'm really in a bad mood. Now you already push him, right?
Yeah.
And then we've also heard about the stories and issues that he had with Jack Perry in the weeks leading up towards All In as well. Let's talk about that.
That previously on AEW Collision. So, freaking this bitch boy, Jack Perry. That's my new name for him. Bitch boy, Jack Perry. On an episode, wanted to do some shit where he would go through a car window, like the glass, right? And so you had agents, you had producers telling him, no, cannot. He don't want. He refused to listen. I'm like, wow, can like this one You at your workplace, the next time your manager asks you don't do something, you tell him, don't care, I want to do. Got such thing. Okay, whatever. That's a real tight ship you're running over there, TK. Anyway, dude refuses to listen to reason, so the producers and the road agents go to CM Punk, because CM Punk is the veteran ma. Okay, maybe he will listen to the veteran. So CM Punk does what he was asked to do: go and talk to Jack Perry, say, hey, don't do this shit. This is not what we do here, right? And so Jack Perry has this bug up his ass about the whole glass situation. And he bitched on social media, blah, 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 whatever. Fast forward to All In, the pre-show. He was having a match with Hook. And there was a spot where he goes through the glass. And then, before, I didn't watch it, obviously. I just saw clips of it. But there was a point where he looked directly in the camera. Knowing that the first match of the night would be CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Knowing that CM Punk would be at Gorilla watching a monitor. Or some such.
For sure,
right?
For sure, right?
He basically, what did he say? Do you remember what he said?
Yeah, of course. He said, real glass, cry me a river, mocking the whole situation.
First of all, what a bitch. What is cry me a river? That is the lamest trash
Bro.
talk I've ever heard in my life. Just shut up.
He think he Justin Timberlake, bro.
Cry me a river. Like, oh my. When he said that, when I saw the clip, I cringed so hard. I'm like, wow, okay.
First of all, it sounds so Hollywood of someone to talk like that. Sounds like a valley girl. Cry me a river, like a white chick.
Yeah.
And then secondly, the voice coming out of that is Jungle Boy's voice. Like, cry me a river. I'll be like, how's that trash talk?
No, it's not trash talk. It's a bitch boy trying to sound tough.
And okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. There were reports saying that when we're gonna just skip like 1-2 steps.
Sure.
When CM Punk confronted Jungle Boy and said you have a problem, and he was saying I was just trying to get heel heat.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposedly his explanation for doing that.
Yep.
My question is, right, who would pick up on that unless you're a mark or unless you are super into the internet? All this like insider stuff, like who would know,
bro?
And you know what I mean,
bro? It's an excuse. We've worked long enough in our lives to know people like that. They do something wrong, they won't admit, and they'll come up with like some bullshit excuse. And okay, let's go on his train of thought. Even if he thought that, I'm trying to get heel heat, it just shows how delusional all these indie-rific talents are. That they think that everyone who watches their program knows everything about them. No. Like the average person doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And if you're an old school wrestler who has respect for your colleagues, even if you want to do that, right? Shouldn't you clear that with CM Punk first?
Yeah.
The person you're supposedly taking shots. If it's all a work, him and CM Punk is agree. I let him take this shot so that he will let the trolls talk. Then it's fine. But if CM Punk clearly took it personally, then you didn't even clear with the person you're going to talk shit about. That for what?
No, but you see, I don't even think CM Punk took it personally. You know what I mean? It's just a thing of like, okay, like we've talked about already, he already headed up to here with all the bullshit. And it's all just childish bullshit. Chip away, right? Then he comes through the back. Then the whole thing sort of hits a boiling point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have the exact chain of events that led to the headlock of doom? The life-threatening headlock, apparently, according to Tony Khan, he feared for his life, damn it.
Okay, so again, I'm not gonna speculate. I'm just gonna kind of summarize the report that Fightful gave, right? So apparently, like you said, CM Punk was watching the whole thing on monitor, right? Clearly, he was like, what the fuck this guy take this shot, right?
Yeah.
Probably calling or fucking up Tony Khan, like, wow, why this guy, you let this guy talk this kind of shit to me, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? But what we know from what was written, he, Jack Perry came backstage, straight away the first thing, it was CM Punk who straight away took it up to him nose to nose, like, hey, you got a problem with me? And then Jack Perry said, I was just trying to get heel heat. Okay. Again, apparently it was CM Punk that kind of shoved him. And then Jack Perry, of course, wanting to I don't want to lose face. Of course, then he go pie face him back. And at that point in time, CM Punk straight away put on the chokehold. So you can look at it two ways, okay? Either CM Punk really wanted to knock him out and ping-sun him, right?
Yeah.
Or he was maybe trying to instead of having a all-out brawl-out, punching and throwing chairs and biting people, he just want to end it right there and then choke him out, right?
Yeah.
So so that gave time for everyone to come in between and intervene, right?
Yeah.
So in this period when, people are pushing him away and all that kind of stuff, Tony Khan was, of course, trying to break it up as well. So he was also in the middle of that fracas, right? And in that period, I think probably CM Punk had a wild swing or there were reports that either he went for a wild swing trying to hit Tony Khan who was nearby or who was, I would say, in the crossfire.
Sure.
Or other reports say that he specifically looked towards Tony Khan with his hands outstretched, ready to choke him before he was stopped. Okay, that part is all speculation. We are unsure.
Yeah.
But the point is, Tony Khan felt at that point in time that it was a danger to him. So your words, bro. What you were saying?
So there are cameras. There are a lot of cameras apparently, from what I've read as well. So until the footage is released, we can't really say what happened to who, blah blah blah, right?
Bro, I know where to pull the footage from, bro.
Who?
Bro, GTV, bro. What are you waiting for, bro?
What GTV? No, now it's 2023. It's QTTV or whatever the
Okay.
bullshit they're doing.
QTMZ. QTMZ.
QTMZ, right?
Yeah.
Look, man, like this should not have gotten to that point. The only reason it got to that point is one person and one person only. And yes, he should shoulder most of the blame, but I also put a lot of the blame on this toxic cronyism that is so endemic in AEW right now. The one person that can put a stop to all this is Tony Khan. And he let it fester and fester and fester. He thought, separating them into two brands can help things. No. It just let it fester even more, right?
Yep.
He should not have allowed the Young Bucks to cancel that meeting, the clear the air meeting. Obviously, the Young Bucks, whatever reason they had, he should have made it happen no matter what, right? I don't know how you can make your main star take the tube and sort of have to, fend for himself, even though he enjoyed it, but that's not the point. That's wrong also, right? And then when Jack Perry did that, right, the immediate thing that Tony Khan should have done is pull the two of them aside and say, we'll deal with this later. Y'all don't talk. The problem is, if he has no balls, is the stream still okay?
Yes, the stream is still
there?
good. Still good. Don't worry. We haven't been cancelled yet.
Like if he cannot be a boss, he's not a boss. He's not a leader. He's just their buddy, right? He surrounded himself with cronies. If he can't do it, get somebody else to stand up and separate them and get the shit done. This is the wrestling business. Look, I know this is all a work. Everybody should be professional, but it's like, how can you go on television, and I'm jumping ahead, right? And then talk about, he's fearing for his life. Meanwhile, every day on the show, you have people bleeding everywhere. You have backstage interactions, people throwing people off stages, and a little shoving match got you like, I'm scared, guys, I'm so scared. Like, I mean, wow.
You know what? Tony Khan is so lucky he wasn't in charge of a promotion in 1996.
Dude.
Because if he was trying to act the way he was in 1996, Eric Bischoff kena jackknife powerbomb from Kevin Nash as he was the booker at WCW at that point in time. And then you talk about Vince McMahon, the kind of shit he's been through with not just dealing with people in front of the camera, backstage kena punched by Bret Hart. You know what I mean?
Who was it that threatened his life too? One other fella. Do you remember? Vince McMahon.
Schultz, is it Dave Schultz or something like that?
I can't remember. Nails. Yeah, Schultz. It's Nails,
yeah,
right?
Dave Schultz. Yeah. Basically, getting threatened and wanting to be beaten up is part of the territory as an owner, if I'm as a wrestling owner. So it's so funny, right? Have you seen like the perspectives people have been talking about how Tony Khan, and of course Jim Cornette has the perfect analogy for it, right?
Yeah.
As a kid, right, he's just been watching wrestling. He's been a mark, right?
A fan.
Does he really have the social skills to manage people?
Bro.
And especially these kind of characters?
Yeah. Egos. It's ego. It's an ego business. Like, say what you want. It's all egos. That's why you see over on WWE side, you have Papa H. Someone that everyone respects because he is not a pioneer, but he's a veteran in the industry already, and he will not put up with this type of fragile ego bullshit.
And that's the thing, right? I feel like as much as we can say things about Dana White, about Vince McMahon, like you need this kind of like, not say alpha male characters, but guys who like, straight away command respect, right?
Yes.
Whether whatever they've done in the business, being a great businessman, or just being able to handle people and negotiate with people. Like you look at them, right? They are like type A personality.
Yep.
Right? Because you need that kind to be able to handle. You think Tony Khan can handle Conor McGregor? Or like freaking, Khabib, like, I humble you, I make you humble. Like.
So, okay,
mean?
you said one word that I think is very key to this whole thing, respect. I don't think anybody there respects Tony Khan. I think they look at him as an ATM machine.
They respect the money that he gives, but not him as...
No, absolutely not. And I think at a certain point, CM Punk just got tired of it and he realizes that Tony Khan is the problem as well. And he probably looked at Tony Khan and said, you need to handle this shit. He threatened me.
Bro, why you can't talk like that? No, but
That's my impression of TK.
like remember a year ago when Claudio went and joined AEW, there was photos of him hugging him like the best friend like that.
Yeah.
And then when CM Punk was doing his tirade last year, he was saying like, hey Tony, like he kind of cut him off and like, I'm trying to run a business here. Like all those things that the way Tony CM Punk like even acted like that, right? That's also in a response of like there's this lack of like strength,
I think, and going back to that, that's a very good point, right?
Yeah.
Even CM, like you can see CM Punk tries to respect him, and tries to sort of like hold him up a little bit, but then at the end he's like, okay, you know what? But I'm still trying to do a business here, and you're not fucking standing up. You have no spine, so I have to just take it over. I think there's a part of it that's what CM Punk is trying to do, and I'm definitely not saying what CM Punk did is right, but you have to put yourself in his shoes, where you get pushed to a point, right, where enough is enough is enough, and I can't take it anymore. Whose catchphrase was that? Was that
enough is enough, and it's time for change?
Was that who was that? Was
Owen
that
Hart, bro?
Owen Hart, right? Oh.
Yes, my favorite guy. You're absolutely right, right? The issue is, people feel that they can step over Tony Khan, and people feel that they can pick fights, they can politic, all because Tony Khan is afraid of confrontation.
Correct. And he lets, his cronies do what they want. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, then let's fast forward to the announcement that he made. Yeah. Sort of like in front of the camera, standing all nervous, and
I'm reading all the comments, by the way. You guys are entertaining us, but I can't address everyone. But yeah,
if this is the work, then TK. Oh no, if this is work, then they are the best freaking wrestling creatives of all time. Because I will tell you this, right? All this has overshadowed their accomplishments. London, right? All in. How many? Largest attendance for a wrestling show?
Yeah, and that whole thing should have been celebrated, and we are supposed to be basking in the glow of for like the last 2-3 weeks, but nobody's talking about it anymore.
No, everyone's talking about CM Punk getting fired and the whole backstage. So it's like I really don't think he should have started Dynamite by addressing the issue. I feel like it should have been a celebration of All In. Then you shove the announcement somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean?
Is that also like putting fuel to the flame? That is this a work for him to address it on air? I don't know.
If it's a work, then it's bad timing, because you should have celebrated your accomplishments first. Then you work the story later.
Yeah. Again, like on the subject of whether he deserves to be fired, whether he doesn't deserve to be fired, I just want to give one example, right? Remember what happened in WrestleMania 34 between Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon?
Oh, the one where he threw the belt at Vince.
Yes, correct. The reports back then was it was supposed to be Roman Reigns winning, but then on the last minute, like literally on the day itself, Vince decided, keep the belt on Brock, right? Yep. At that point, Brock haven't re-signed yet, by the way.
Right.
So Brock took it as like a disrespect to him, because it's like, you are trying to so-called politic me into staying or re-signing by giving the title on me, when you should be putting the title on this guy that you've been building up years, instead of delaying it. So Brock was understandably pissed off. Brock made Roman bleed at that day, and then when he came backstage, fuck, nah, here's your fucking title. Now I win for it, and he threw it at him, right?
Yeah.
Was Brock fired?
Can you imagine if I would love for Brock Lesnar to go to AEW and see Tony Khan cry?
Oh my god, bro! If Brock did that to Tony Khan and Tony Khan want to fire him, you try. Right.
He would choke. Anyway. So I don't know, man. Like, I have made a decision. Essentially, I'm just not going to watch AEW anymore. Like, there's no point for me to watch, because none of it is good anymore. And we're going to get into All In and All Out, right?
Like, it's funny you say that. I wanted to give you a high five, because remember what I told you? I deactivated my Fight TV subscription when CM Punk left.
Yeah.
I reinstated it when CM Punk returned. I just deactivated it again, bro. I ain't gonna be watching that.
It's just not worth it. At this point, it's become this like. Okay, there's that, right? And there's also the whole, I cannot get the cronyism thing out of my mind, right? It's like, Maybe it hits a little too close to home, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, bro. Of course I know what you mean.
Right,
That's why I say it surprises me, but doesn't surprise me as well.
No, look, especially as someone who works in the entertainment industry, I've seen this all my career. You know,
Ooh.
people politicking backstage, blah, 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 all this. And people who actually can do the job getting the shit end of the stick because there are groups out there who are clearly not as, much of a drawing power person or talented. Shafting them because they politic their way because they're the best friends with the pun not intended but also intended, best friends with the boss.
I can't wait for the Mister Young expose on the Singapore media industry. I can't wait for that. When you're old enough to not give a fuck, I can't wait for that, bro.
Yeah. All come out. But yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, it's probably best for the Young Bucks. They won. The elite won. The cronies won. Is it morally right? I say it's not. I think it's fucking dirty shit, and that's why I don't want to watch AEW anymore. I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Right?
Just to clarify, Rishi, because Rishi said, so is this just going to be a WWE podcast from now? I want to clarify first. First of all, I want to clarify, right?
Yeah.
It all depends on what happens to Collision, to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because,
oh my god, yeah.
Because like again, CM Punk came back, they made Collision a CM Punk show, right?
Yeah.
And for first few weeks, like there was really progress, right? So and then I still haven't given up hope on a couple of people. I really, really love MJF, right? Everyone does. And it really depends on what's gonna happen next. If the next 2-3 months, right, it starts to descend into all this nonsense again.
Oh my god.
Then I tell you, the AEW report of this podcast, right? I think the first 5 minutes, our listeners can just update us and be like, okay, Ken. Okay, now let's go back to WWE.
But there is value in watching AEW and just like, especially if it is in fact going to descend into a shit show, right? Okay, first things first, I think that Collision will become Rampage.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure of it. Unless
becoming already, bro.
It's becoming already, right? Unless they really are like, okay, instead of CM Punk helming this, let's give it to Bryan Danielson. But even then, Bryan Danielson is that nice guy that's just gonna play ball with the kids.
Yeah. Okay, if they build the show, if they build Collision around Bryan Danielson, Ricky Starks, keep Bullet Club Gold part of it, make JY a star, get FTR, House of Black, and then they start building it, make it like NXT.
Yeah.
I can still get behind it, right?
Sure. No, but you see, you have the personnel, but you don't have the booking.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, right? Like, and these guys we've seen before. House of Black have always been there. Samoa Joe has always been there. MJF, Adam Cole, blah, blah, they've always been there. The only reason they suddenly became watchable was because they started being booked correctly and like properly. And the ratings bear it out. Their show, even though it's less than Dynamite, you can see they always maintain their audience from start to finish. Whereas if you look at the numbers for Dynamite, it's always a downhill slide.
Yeah. And speaking of Samoa Joe, do you feel sorry for Samoa Joe the most? This guy, this fella is like, fuck lah, I need to... Okay, because he's cool with CM Punk, so he's probably trying to calm CM Punk down.
Yeah.
And then he go do a match with CM Punk, lose the title match, and then this CM Punk leave with the title. So I'm like, Samoa Joe probably is like, you know what? Tony Khan, better give me a fucking good storyline to get me out of this situation.
Well, I mean, he is working a program. It looks like he's going to work a program with MJF, so that at least we know that it's going to be something good, right? Very quickly then, let's talk about it. Are we, done with the whole CM Punk thing?
Well,
I mean,
let's talk about one last thing with regards to CM Punk, right?
Okay, go.
What happens next? CM Punk, is he gonna, for some reason, hell is gonna freeze over, he's gonna return to WWE? Is that gonna happen with Survivor Series?
In Chicago!
Look, what's your thoughts?
Give him a 6-month contract. 6 months. Like, don't make it an extended thing where after that he's going to start getting antsy and shitty about things. You know what I mean? Give him a short-term contract. Have him work with some of the guys that maybe he likes. I know Seth Rollins doesn't like him or something like that. Like, there are some people who don't like him, right? They are, whatever. Like, look, CM Punk is no angel. Let's put it that way. He's not like, you have to step on a few people to get up there in the industry. I get it, right? It's the same way Triple H is no angel. But I feel like given the right people to work with, and I think that CM Punk proved it. You know, like for me, right? If it were me going into that AEW shit show, I would have left within half a year if I had CM Punk's level of fame. Right? I'd be like, fuck this shit. I don't. He actually stuck in it. Well, he was injured for a lot of it, but I think he was really very, very nice. You know,
He tried.
He tried. Right? Yeah. So I wouldn't mind if they brought him back just for one or two programs with people that that he can work with, that he wants to put over.
We know he has a powerful ally in Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul Heyman and him go way back. Cody Rhodes, I don't think will be opposed to working with him. And you keep forgetting, but CM Punk played a pivotal role in a lot of like the current stars establishing themselves. We are talking about people like Sheamus, right? We are talking about people like even Roman Reigns. CM Punk had a lot of was involved in like pushing the Shield, right? Or went to bat for the Shield for a while. So yes, sure, Seth Rollins might have issue, but Seth Rollins used to look up to CM Punk. So that could be his way of like, I'm just gonna put it out there, potential matchup.
HS Lee says something that I actually really agree with. I think this version of CM Punk can work with Triple H, and I also think that this version of Triple H can work with CM Punk. I feel like they've both matured. Like when they were at loggerheads, they were both still like, at that age where they're trying to prove, who got bigger balls, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think in this current climate in 2023, like I think if not 6 months, then maybe a 3-month program, Like,
yeah, for sure.
Go to Rumble or something like that. But I'm actually excited to see what happens now for the WWE.
Okay. And one thing we have to take note, right? Of course, Triple H, looks up to Vince as his mentor and all that.
Yep.
What is Vince well known for? Putting personal feelings aside with regards to business, right? How many people he brought back that he used to fucking have issues with?
Bro, he brought back Eric Bischoff, the guy that tried to put them out of business.
He brought back Bruno Sammartino, who literally shit on his business in the 90s because he was too racy. He brought back Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
He fucking brought back Bret Hart. Come on.
Exactly. If it's good for business, they will do it. And I think with all this BS, CM Punk will be good for business, but like I said, don't give him enough time to start resenting shit. Because CM Punk is the type of fella, after a while, you're like,
No. I think, right, I understanding how CM Punk is and where he comes from, right? He's a very angry child, angry child. Never got a lot of love growing up, fine. But he would probably now realize that, what, at least WWE, for all the shit that I went through, right, I know I got structure, I know I can deal with them, especially without the Vince issues of, because most of his issues that he had with the WWE at that point in time, they keep pushing their man. They kept pushing that punishing schedule, Vince controlling all the time, his issues with Triple H. I think all of that has gone away. That this current WWE is different.
Yep, exactly. And, like you said, there's structure. AEW, they anyhow book, they got no structure. And that is a huge part of his just souring so fast. And can we just say, AEW's two biggest stars leaving in just such a short time, right? Says a lot. Cody goes over WWE. He's now a main event guy. Like, Cody is literally the poster boy for WWE, if you think about it right now. Apart from all the other guys like Roman and Brock, whatever, like they send Cody for all these, like, Make-A-Wish, all the charity stuff. He is the poster boy, and he looks good in suit. I don't know about the neck tattoo, but you get my point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I mean, I feel like they would do him right, but once again, not in a long-term thing, not like Edge. Okay, like the Edge contract was a bit weird in that I feel like he stuck around too long.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And I think,
I pray to God, by the way. I know this is a complete tangent, but I pray that Edge doesn't go to AEW. I know there were rumors, because his contract with WWE is over, right? Why would he?
Oh my God.
No, don't. I know Christian is there. He's your best friend, whatever. But please don't. I don't think he will. I think he's smarter than that. Like, why would he go to a place and potentially burn bridges with WWE that has treated him so well for so long?
My favorite moment from the press scrum at All Out, I don't know whether you watch.
Oh, no.
So, a journalist asked Christian Cage this question to him, directly to him, beside Tony Khan. They were saying, like, we've heard rumors of Adam Copeland being a free agent right now. Would you love to see your former best friend or like your best friend in the same company as you, right? And you know what he said?
What?
I have no friends other than Luchasaurus. Bro,
Bro,
stay in character, bro.
hey, he's smart. He knows how to work the business, lah.
I love it. I love turtleneck wearing Christian Cage,
Yeah.
my idol. But yeah, no, let's just avoid that drama.
Mm.
Adam Copeland is happy in WWE. He's being treated well. He's a legend. CM Punk like age a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
There you
it
go.
is what
I
it
mean,
is.
okay. So that's the whole CM Punk saga. It only took us 40 minutes to talk about it. So I'm actually very proud of her.
Oh yeah, I'm happy as well. I'm happy as well.
I mean, we'll obviously have to wait and see, how things pan out. Maybe there'll be footage finally released. Bro, if they do have footage, right, can you imagine they sell it? Footage to be revealed on the next episode of Dynamite. They will have the highest ratings on Dynamite ever. Or they put it on a pay-per-view. Bro, people will buy that shit, man.
Bro, the main event of this pay-per-view, the footage of CM Punk fighting and almost threatening the safety of Tony Khan. I mean, that would be damn hilarious.
Do you think that a lot of what Tony Khan said and his verbiage, the language he used, he felt threatened, he felt like the safety of his peers and felt for his life, blah, 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 is so that when CM Punk finally does sue him for creating a hostile work environment, because we all know Americans a bit litigious one, like everything also want to sue one, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's his way of protecting his ass, clearly, right?
Right? Am I right?
Yeah. Of course you're right. It is. Everything he say, right, seems to be vetted and approved by lawyers, bro. Like,
yeah, that's why he have to look in
safety.
Look into the camera. I don't have a hairbrush. Look, I have to look into the mic and I felt the safety of my, like, whatever, bro. What can you imagine Vince McMahon coming on?
Why? But why his eyes like that?
he getting older. He can't read the teleprompter, so he must like.
No lah, he snorted a few before he
Oh
went
my
live
God.
on air lah.
Oh right.
Okay. We're gonna start another tangent on Tony Khan, but can we put a bow? Can we put a bow on this whole topic, right?
Yeah.
End of the day, CM Punk came with the best of intentions.
Yep.
Everything up until the Hangman Page drama, he was having the best run in his career. Let's not deny that.
Yeah.
He had a great match with Darby Allin. Even
MJF.
a lot of people forget and sleep on the Eddie Kingston feud that he had, which was like a 3-week feud.
Yep.
And Eddie Kingston is known for being a controversial guy who is not scared of talking shit to people. Why were they able to put their shit aside and actually put out a really great match, right?
Yeah.
MJF, great match, right? They had 2 matches, and I still feel that they needed that trilogy. And then shit went down the drain when all the elite shit happened, right? CM Punk, I think, is a very reasonable man. A lot of people say he's not a reasonable man. He's like, everything he always get angry. But I think it's just a guy who doesn't put up with shit.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And like you said, right? Everything leading up to him having to deal with the elite. And a lot of it also has to do with the fact that elite are looking at him going, hey, he's actually better than us. Hey, I think if we keep him around long enough, our quote-unquote mystique, the shit that we've sold to Tony Khan, our boss, is going to get exposed. And you know what I mean? So they're protecting their own ass. I don't think Kenny Omega gives a crap. I think Kenny Omega seems to be the guy to be like, whatever lah. Like, he's just, okay, I'm friends with you guys, but, I'm not going to try.
Bro, he's an artist, bro. He's too busy in his artisticisms. I don't know how to pronounce it.
So he's the artist, while the Bucks are the politicers, yeah.
Whatever it is lah. But if you tell me, right, CM Punk in a pay-per-view versus Young Bucks in a pay-per-view, who will draw at this point in time?
We all know the answer. We all know 100% the answer to this. The Young Bucks haven't been relevant since they started the company.
Yeah, right. A lot of people want to disagree with us, or perhaps, say that, oh no, Young Bucks was the reason why AEW built. But what have they done in AEW that has been compelling, has been the most compelling thing in the company?
Who have they made? CM Punk made Darby Allin, made MJF, made Eddie Kingston to a certain degree. Ricky Starks as well. He was going to work a program with Ricky Starks, right? He elevated people. All Young Bucks did was have a bunch of flippity-floppity matches with their best friends, their good friends, the Lucha dudes, and then they buried the most up-and-coming tag team, FTR. Yeah, they didn't beat them for the title. Look at how great they are, and we'll get to that in a bit when we, talk about All In. But it's like, they are not relevant at all.
At all, bro. If you think about it, right, How many memorable Young Bucks promos can you think of? Exactly.
No.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just they are they are the definition of
Oh yeah, bro. They did
what?
a victory lap during Collision. I saw that as well.
Mm.
And that is like the epitome of their pettiness, of their childishness, right?
Wait,
Like,
wait. The collision you're talking about this past week collision when Young Bucks appeared on the show?
yeah, I believe so. I can't remember what show. I read about it that the Young Bucks did a victory lap. It's like, oh, we finally got him fired. Ha ha ha. It's
Bro.
like, this is how they are really their level of maturity.
Bro, you know what? I'm gonna use a football reference. You might not get it, but people in the chat might get it, right? This is the equivalent, right, of selling Fernando Torres to Chelsea, right, and then bringing in Andy Carroll. Like collision. No, bro, you know this, bro. You don't remember when you were a Chelsea fan a decade ago.
Sure. Fernando, okay, I remember the name. Yeah, sure. But who's the other guy?
No, remember when Fernando Torres was like the biggest name in Liverpool?
Yeah.
And he was so unhappy he left Liverpool to join Chelsea, right? And it was a big deal because he crossed over to the rivals, right?
Yeah.
And then they replaced him with a $35 billion nobody from Newcastle who looks like age. He really looks like age, bro, like a British age. That guy, that fucker lasts like half a season and then just gone. Like, as a Liverpool fan, right, it broke my heart. It's like, you're replacing goal with shit. and that's how I feel, right? Knowing that the moment CM Punk left Collision, suddenly Young Bucks is on the show.
Yeah, and doing victory laps and just being childish. I hate it. And that's okay. Like, I will still watch AEW just to see what's up and just to chat about it with you guys. And maybe it'll pick up. Who knows? We can't judge right away, right? Maybe Brian Danielson being back will signify good things, but I highly doubt it. But it's behavior that makes me just have a very I don't enjoy watching AEW at all.
Well, judging by All Out, I don't think the future is that good.
HS says, I'm glad WWE didn't manage to sign the Young Bucks. I'll tell you this much, right? Even if WWE at that time signed the Young Bucks, right, they wouldn't be able to pull this shit. Because Triple H will sit them down and lecture them and discipline them like the leader that he is. The reason that they can pull this shit off is because Tony Khan is not doing what he's supposed to do and not being a leader. If you have a good leader, you can have toxic people, but they can't do their toxic shit because the leader is saying, no, you just do what you're here to do and shut up. Oh, well, not like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course, I remember old stories when, Young Bucks was still Generation Me in TNA. They rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. They had issues with Booker T. A lot of people backstage were saying that, they were just doing too many crazy shit. And that became their gimmick. Their gimmick was killing the business.
Yep.
Right?
Now they're killing AEW, and you just watch lah. And I don't think this is hyperbole to say that we are seeing WCW all over again. WCW, you had a billionaire Ted. We all remember billionaire Ted. If you don't remember, you probably remember the billionaire Ted skits that the WWF tried to do, right? You had a guy who loved wrestling. He's a billionaire, funded the thing, tried to get the networks, blah, 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 blah. But then at some point, he let the inmates run the asylum. And then after that, when the money disappeared, when they got bought out by, was it Time Warner, AOL? And the billionaire was no longer there. So now isn't this the exact same thing we're seeing, but to a much higher degree because we have social media, we know the backstage stuff, quote unquote. And how long, what's the Tony Khan's dad's name? Shad Khan, is it?
Shahid Khan, yeah.
Shahid Khan. So how long till Mr. Shahid Khan looks at his $1 billion investment and goes, where are my returns? So I gave you $1 billion already. I think it's enough. Enough is enough, lah. Boy, you need to grow up. What happens when the money disappears?
Yeah, exactly, right? Give it 5 more years. Okay, if AEW defies all the expectations, really becomes self-sustaining, really grows the talent, MJF becomes the biggest star in the whole of the business, and they continue, then sure, go for it, right? We are not against it, but I just feel like when a company needs their exclusive clique to be on top for the company to run well, it never ends well at all.
No, we've seen this happen so many times. Unless your exclusive clique is Shawn Michaels, then different story.
Bro, that one I don't know how he did it, but good kudos on him.
Well,
If Young Bucks end up becoming like Shawn Michaels and have an NXT equivalent in AEW and he take care of the kids in the future, then maybe good redemption story lah. Maybe lah.
I don't know. Maybe, so what you're trying to say? They need to go and find Jesus? Because that's what it took for Shawn.
Bro, but they're really Jesus-loving guys.
So they have to find a next level of Jesus? I don't know what.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm actually very interested because I think MJF is a very smart guy. You know, the bidding, he keeps joking about the bidding war of what?
2024. Yeah.
Bro, he needs to realize that the second he starts, quote unquote, not playing ball with the elite, they are going to try everything they can to screw him. You know it's going to happen one. So he needs to, while he is at the peak of his, popularity, right? Get out of there. Talk to Cody. Talk to friggin' Brother Love.
But he knows he's close with Cody. So
yeah, maybe
those conversations are ongoing already, bro.
No,
yeah,
so
for sure.
I hope so, and I really don't think he'll stay. As much as much fun he's having now. But okay, that is a different conversation altogether, lah. So yeah, Cody. Now we know why he left. It's so obvious. Cody is the smart businessman. He left without all this acrimonious bullshit. He just said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to leave. So maybe there's an argument to be made that CM Punk could have handled it like Cody Rhodes.
Of course.
Yeah, but Cody was never the level of star that CM Punk was.
Also, you have to understand, Cody had a better upbringing than CM Punk. Cody had a loving father.
Yeah.
CM Punk had a drug-addicted father that made him go straight edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it really comes back to upbringing because I understand where CM Punk comes from. He doesn't have the social skills to be able to navigate this situation because he doesn't care for bullshit. Politicking. He just says what on his mind. And I've been that kind of guy. I've said things that people might find offensive or like, oh, this guy really got no sensitivity or what. Just say only.
Yeah.
But I said it not because to shit on people. I just say it because it's the truth. And some people can't handle the truth. So that's
you
CM Punk,
can't
right?
handle the truth. No, that's exactly it. And as a leader, I think a good leader will see that and then try to discipline or like. And I know we said we needed to move on, but
bro, that was 20 minutes ago, bro.
How the hell do you have a mid? And saying Jack Perry is a mid carder is giving him a lot of credit. Okay, how the hell are you letting a mid carder like talk shit to your biggest drawing star? What's wrong with you as a boss? You know what I mean?
If Tony Khan really wants to be a boss and put his foot down, he will fire Jack Perry as well.
Yeah, I think he should fire Jack Perry. I think he should fire the Young Bucks, but that's a different thing. Hangman Page, gone, right? It's just because
I tell you,
no, but he cannot. You know why? He needs his friends. He got no friends. He had billions and billions of dollars, but no friends.
Bro, I can become his friend. Come and hang out with us.
But see, would you actually be his friend, or would you be his friend because he got money? See, I mean, hey, these are rich people problems, right? Like, how do you know? Okay, let me put it to you this way. Let me suddenly take Tony Khan's side on this.
Okay.
How do you know who's your friend for your money versus how do you know who's your friend because they actually like you?
Bro, I know you're definitely my friend.
Okay.
Because I really got no money and you're still friends with me. So like, we are true friends. No, the best kind of friend, right, is like it was never built on a business or it was never built on what can you do for me, what I can do for you. You have a common interest, you share the common interest, from there you like them as a person. And then that's it. There's no attachment involved or like no I need to gain something from anything. It's just your friend. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is it's very hard to have that when you're a billionaire. Do you see my point? It's like
I see, because everybody knows what you can offer them.
Exactly. So you can never. So like he probably. I mean, maybe he didn't have maybe he had this whole life where he's like, I don't even know if my friends are there. And then now you have all these wrestlers that he's grown up idolizing, loving because he's such a mark, right? Suddenly they are his best pals, Chris Jericho, the Young Bucks. They're like, oh my God, you really love me. Wow, yeah, come. And you have CM Punk, who is a legitimate star, who's like, doesn't want to put up with his shit, talks back to him. How often do you think people disagree with Tony Khan? That work with him. I'm not saying random people on social media. They don't count.
I would say, right, CM Punk would have been Tony Khan's closest chance at having a real friend.
Yeah.
Because CM Punk wouldn't have bullshitted or massaged his ego, who have told him the straight truth.
Correct.
And if he can accept that and, then great, right?
You know he cannot, because his whole life people have told him, oh, what you're doing is great. Oh, you're an awesome person. I see it. Okay, this whole the media thing already, but I see this happen a lot with people like like your Justin Bieber's, for example. These teen stars who like hit stardom super early at a young age, right? And then you see them, there's some point where they like snap and they completely turn 180, become like super bad boy, right? It's because their whole life nobody has told them, no, this is effed, this is wrong, don't do this. Nobody dares to tell it to them because they are rich, they are famous.
Yeah. So, I mean, sorry to hear that, Jason. I just saw his chat, right? But again, right, it goes back to the same thing. If I came into this with a business endeavor, to make this a business, and yes, I love wrestling, but I want to create a viable company out of it, I must be ready to be like Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Where Vince McMahon is equally hated, will forever have people who shit on him, but he will have the most loyal people.
Yes.
But these loyal people, none of these wrestlers, even Undertaker say, oh, he's like my friend. Like, it's more like he's like my father. You know what I mean?
Father figure. But isn't that even more deeper than friendship? I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I get your point. It's a weird balance, right? And at the end of the day, yeah, it is a business and he is not running it like a boss. It's like, you have work friends and then you have friends. And he needs to realize that these people, the Young Bucks, are his work friends. So stop treating them like friends. I think he's just scared that nobody will be his friend.
Don't worry, bro. God is there for you. When I say God, I don't mean Miro's God. I don't know.
Oh, the Redeemer. God. No, bro. That's not enough for him, and we know it. All right, let's jump into, since we're on the train of all elite, right? Yeah, let's talk about the big Wembley thing. The first thing that came to my mind when I switched it on, right, was it looks kind of lame. Huh? I'm sorry, but with the amount of money that he has, right? Couldn't you have decorated the stadium a little bit better than just having this little video rampway, which was cool, I guess. But I mean, look at I think maybe I'm spoiled by the WWE as well. Every time WrestleMania, their set looks amazing. It looks like a full production.
You know what? I think I know what you mean, because they only invested in that roof canopy over the ring. They did like the LED screens, but they didn't dress up the rest of Wembley at all, right? Like WWE, when they do WrestleMania, you can literally see like LED like lights all over the stadium. They really make the stadium a part representation.
Yep. I think it was a waste. Yeah, it was a wasted opportunity. Yeah, they got the numbers and everything, but so what? Visually, you look at it, it goes, oh, okay lah. It just look okay. And oh my god, it's almost as if HS is reading my mind right now, because the one thing that really bugged me throughout this entire pay-per-view, right, is because, okay, and you know that I've been watching AEW on and off. Like, I don't watch it religiously anymore, right? This is a bit here, a bit there. Half the time, I was like, did they even play a video package?
Oh, okay. I get it. Like the moment the show started, it just went to the match and like very rare.
Yeah, and in between the matches as well, there was like no real a lot of these matches, sometimes if you don't know what's going on, the video package before it hypes it up. Great example, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Garbage match. The build was nonsense, but the video package was like, wow, oh shit, I'm ready for this. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I felt the same way watching the video package, man.
Yeah.
It's missing one big thing that WWE's production team had, right? Before the start of WrestleMania, there was like that huge hype video. Like, remember that WrestleMania 17? We were young when we were young. These heroes, and then got some guy from like watching the TV, and then the TV got WrestleMania 3.
Correct.
Andre and Hogan. Just that hype, the build up, make it sound like the most monumental event of the year. They could have had MJF narrate. This is my dream, to step on this stage. And then got like photos of him from when he was young. He remember Kurt Angle WrestleMania 19 running up the steps into the stadium with that slow. That kind of shit. I know what you mean, bro.
Bro, this is storytelling. And it's not just storytelling in the ring. It's the whole entertainment package. And AEW, for whatever reason, don't grasp it. And it's not like they don't have the money for it. You mean to tell me
the brains for it, bro.
Exactly. So you start off kind of cold, And then CM Punk and Samoa Joe come out, right? And I mean, these two have wrestled each other like a billion times already. It was never going to be a bad match, but here's the thing. They are much older already.
Well, if them as older wrestlers could still wrestle a smart match,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because I was still entertained by it. And I'm not saying this as a CM Punk fan, because most of the match, CM Punk was booed and it was Samoa Joe getting all the cheers.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it because it was wrestled so smartly, especially if you really paid attention to the match, right, bro?
Yeah.
They are fucking professionals.
No, they are. They are 100% professionals. I actually was a bit curious as to why CM Punk started like healing it up. Because, they were singing his song at first. He was in as a face. And Samoa Joe traditionally or like recently has been portrayed as a heel. So why did it flip? Like, and they purposely flipped it too. It's not like the crowd randomly turned.
Change him, yeah.
No, the way Punk was acting and the way Samoa Joe were acting, it's almost as if they said, okay, let's flip the script.
CM Punk wrestled like he knew it was his last match.
Okay.
He wrestled knowing that, you know what, I just fucked shit up backstage. I'm gonna enjoy this moment. I'm gonna lean into it. He did all his Hogan antics after that.
Yeah. Looking back, right, it makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Because first of all,
even from the look that he had when he first stepped out, I was like, he has a funny look on his face. Like,
he's like, fuck this shit. You know how I know?
How?
First match of the entire card, he started bleeding.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
CM Punk doesn't bleed for no reason.
Yeah.
And you know why? You know how he got bled? They did that whole spot where someone just swing his head into the board, right? Underneath the announcer's table. And then he come up from the board, he bleeding already. I'm like, oh, this guy, he don't care.
No, he purposely because he knows everyone will bleed, right? So he's like, okay, screw it, I bleed first.
Yeah. So he's an asshole who I watched his documentary. He was like, you know what? He's the kind of guy that burns and blows up bridges wherever he goes, and he enjoys doing it. He's that kind of guy. So I could see the entertainment value of it. But one thing, bro, I think we need to give our flowers to Samoa Joe, bro. Samoa Joe is so underappreciated in wrestling. His WWE run didn't do him justice. I'm hoping his AEW run gives him the flowers he deserves because he has been putting on banger matches.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they give him some bullshit title that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, King of Television. Give that TNT title to him,
Yeah.
Really give him the kind of push. Don't keep him away in ROH, right?
Yeah.
And like the finish of the match, CM Punk brought up his indie finisher, the Pepsi plunge, right? Which the reason, if you know the story behind it, the reason why he stopped doing it, officially he says it's because of his knees. He want to protect his knees, but somebody in WWE didn't like that it looked a bit too similar to his finisher.
It's a freaking pedigree off the top rope. Okay, we know who was like, no, this cannot be his finisher.
Yeah. So like, I was kind of laughing my ass off when he pulled that out because it's like, oh, okay, this guy is just pulling out his old shit.
Yeah,
he's just gonna like enjoy himself and the real world champion bringing away the belt that he never lost. What do you think?
Bro, can you imagine he shows up at Survivor Series with that belt and dumps it in the trash?
Do they have any lawsuits on that? Like, can he bring the belt on WWE television? I would love to see that, bro.
I'm sure there is some sort of clause. They have to be, right? They must have learned that lesson. Unless really they just anyhow one.
That has happened before, right? Ric Flair brought WCW World Heavyweight title to WWE in 1992.
Correct, and proclaimed himself the real world champion. Like, imagine that he comes in and does that. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, real world champion. Let's go.
So, or even this could even bring up CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Like, it left so many possibilities. He just have to walk in with the title, and a lot of people were catching the fact that when he walked out of the ramp, he raised his hands like the bloodline tribal chief style.
No lah, that one I don't think
he's just teasing. He's just teasing. But that's the best part about it, right?
It could happen now.
He's planting seeds.
Which is freaking great. Okay, then let's carry on with all the tag team matches.
We can run through it, bro. We can run through
it. Bullet Club Gold and Take a Shit versus the Golden Showers.
I watched this match for 5 minutes and after that I kind of tuned out of it.
Yeah, same. At one point I literally was sitting going, who's on whose side? Like, it was such a cluster of things. like as it is, like multiple man tag team matches are already very hard to do well, right? And then you have like, oh my God, it's just...
Okay, let's just break it down very simply, right? Bullet Club Gold had banger matches with FTR.
FTR, yeah.
In Collision, right, Bullet Club Gold was one of my favorite things, or is one of my favorite things. Juice Robinson, Jay White, they proved that they can wrestle great matches.
Yep.
This match wasn't a great match.
Nope.
And I don't think it's Bullet Club Gold's fault at all.
Nope. Gee.
For sure. Right? And then secondly, on the other side, right? What do you call it? The Golden Elite. First of all, Hangman has been the most irrelevant he's ever been in his entire AEW career.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega is great, but wasted in this role. Kenny Omega should have had a match with Will Ospreay, should be in a marquee singles match.
Yep.
I love Ibushi, but he is slowing down, bro. He's not Ibushi of like, the 2010s, right?
I'm sure you saw. They tried to do that spot where they go to opposite corners to do moonsault to the ground, and then freaking Ibushi slipped and it looked so bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. And to me, the best person that came off looking from this match is Takeshita, because Takeshita is the only Japanese wrestler on this card that looks like he's a beast.
Yep.
Everyone looks old and broken down.
Yep.
Takeshita is the future, so that was the only good thing from this match, in my opinion.
Ibushi is the guy, right? If you read, like I've said this before, if you don't watch New Japan, you don't know any of his history. You see him, it's like, huh? What's the big deal? Who is this guy? Like, who cares? What is this golden shower thing? Even JR is like, why is everything golden? JR is all of us, bro. JR is like the average guy who's like, I don't understand what is going on. And you can tell, by the way, tell that JR doesn't give a F about this match.
Oh my God.
He thinks that there's too much shit going on.
Oh, Fias had a perfect like Ibushi become Ibonchit. Bonchit means he got tummy already, bro.
Oh shit.
No lah. Okay, but whatever is, again, I respect Ibushi from what he has done from the past, but I do not know whether it's the wrestling style that Japanese wrestlers put themselves through is so rigorous that they reach a point when they really slow down, right? It's just their presentation is gone.
Yeah, they're completely broken down already.
Yeah.
Let's move on. FTR Young Bucks. The funny thing is, everyone assumed that FTR would win, right? And oh, look, they are being selfish again. I think that they are way too concerned with their own self-image to have won.
You're talking about Young Bucks?
Young Bucks, yeah.
Okay.
I actually didn't think that they would win. I kind of felt in the back of my head, FTR are going to win because the Young Bucks want to prove that they are so giving and nice and magnanimous. Because if there's anybody who reads their own press, it's the Young Bucks.
No, I completely agree with you. When I saw that, FTR won, right? A lot of people were saying that, oh wow, Young Bucks actually did the job for them and all that. Yeah. But I think it's less of them wanting to put over FTR and more of them wanting to salvage their own reputation.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
because they have proven themselves to be that kind of petty, that kind of childish.
Yeah. I agree this match is 1 year too late. They actually was supposed to have this match last year's All Out, and then they scrapped it and they did that stupid trios tournament, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a wasted opportunity. I would have rather seen Bullet Club Gold versus FTR in this spot, run it back in Wembley. That would have been an amazing match. This match didn't do it for me.
But they're not about having amazing matches, sound matches that make sense. It's about, who they want to work with and who they want to wrestle with and whatever, like the booking on the fly. We all know this shit, right?
Yeah, correct.
This match, out of the 3 matches they've had, was probably not the best, probably the worst. And they didn't follow up on the whole... Remember, there was kind of a story about how FTR lost because they tried to do like a top rope move. There was that,
They did that.
Because their whole life, they're like, no flips, just face, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there was no follow-up on any of that. And like we said, this match is 1 year too late. The feud is dead and gone. They didn't reignite it in the past couple of weeks. There's nothing to this match.
They didn't pull the trigger when it was at its peak of its interest, right? Remember, people have been wanting to see FTR and Young Bucks come together for the longest time, and the fact that no heat at all.
You know why? Because if the Young Bucks lost then, that would actually mean they would put FTR over. Now they lose, it means nothing. It means absolutely they didn't put FTR over. Because guess what? Apparently they're not in the business of putting other people over.
And this was not a year-long feud as they want to try to tell us like, oh, we've been feuding for years. This is finally who's the best. This was a 2-week, 3-week feud, bro. They just randomly brought up each other's name in time for All In, and that's it.
Just some last-minute booking. That's your long-term booking. Best booker of 2023. Let's move on. Stadium stand. Oh my! I stopped watching at this point. I was like, nope. I'm gonna go do something else.
it's not just you. Straight away, this match was enough. You realize that they switched commentators.
Yeah.
JR left.
It's like, F this. Eddie Kingston, Penta, best friends, and Orange Cassidy versus the BBC. Mike Santana. Apparently, he got first name now. Mike Santana and Ortiz, which sounded so weird when they were like, Mike Santana. Like, who the hell is Mike Santana?
They ruined Proud and Powerful's return, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They never addressed the real life issues that they had. They just returned that they're together. Nothing happened.
No, that's exactly it. I was like, did I miss something that they made a big reunion on? They didn't, right? On TV?
They just returned together and that's it. They just assume nothing happened. They just disappear and they come back. And Tony Khan has really made it clear. He really showed his cards. The reason why he booked this match. Nothing to do with storylines, bro. Yeah. He just wanted to promote the new Stadium Stampede mode in the AEW Fight Forever game.
Which nobody is playing anymore, by the way. That game is dead.
It took 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks. We tried. We were there. We were here playing the...
Bro, I finished the game in a weekend. I literally finished the road to the Elite, the story mode, and then I got bored already. It's like... this is like the story of AEW. The potential is there, but they never quite reach it.
They never shoot their shot when the time is perfect for it. That's the problem.
Because you have cronies doing things that's not best for business, but doing things that's best for themselves, hiring their friends. Cronyism, the word of the day. All right. I hated this match so much. And then there's that spot where Moxley got the skewers in his hair. I'm like, oh God.
Who does that? Who poke a fucking skewer on their head to just showcase it? I think that is just so dumb.
Yeah, right. Bro. Yeah. You want to go and get some satay? Then after we finish the satay, we poke in our head.
Yo, bro. Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just terrible. It's just I'm so disappointed with John Moxley, bro. I just can't.
And you have Claudio, who is by all means an incredible worker, looks great, tall, can speak, can play foreign heel very well, can play nice guy babyface very well. He is in the middle of this bullshit, getting punched by Orange Cassidy and taking a pinfall loss to Orange Cassidy. Yeah, sure. Orange Cassidy had the glass shards on his fist, whatever shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? What are we even doing here?
In an alternate universe, Claudio would be having bangers with Gunther in WWE right now.
Right? We thought that he would have, finally they're going to give him a showcase in AEW. Wrong!
Bro, even him as a Ring of Honor World Champion doesn't mean dick because nobody's watching.
Nope.
Not highlighted as a champion. Nobody cares about who is he feuding with.
Is he still Ring of Honor champion?
He is.
I also don't know. I didn't realize that.
Exactly, right? Wheeler Yuta, they tried to push him last year. He was hot for like 3 months and then now he's just completely back in the background.
Bro, your definition of hot is a bit loose. I don't know if he was hot.
Bro, remember him and Daniel Garcia had that 2-3 month period where he was like the most push guys.
Sure.
The most push guys on the card, but...
Yeah, what is Daniel Garcia doing now?
Just dancing. I mean, I do like his dance though. I mean, it's quite a cute dance, but sure.
Fias says Ring of Honor is dead. I don't know. I haven't watched, Moxley left because he's indie at heart. Yeah, man. Look.
Exactly. I think that's the issue, right?
Yeah, like, Moxley has disappointed over and over and over again. And I guess we'll talk more about him in just a bit. Let's move on. Saraya beat Hikaru Shida, who was the champion, who was obviously a transitional champion because they had nothing better to do with her. Britt Baker and Toni Storm. Britt Baker, cold. Hikaru Shida cold. As champion, cold. Yeah. Toni Storm was the only one, right? Who she looked amazing. She cut her hair. She's like got that classic villainous vibe going on, right?
Have you been watching her promos on Collision?
They've been great.
It's like this Marilyn Monroe, like jilted Hollywood actress. Oh, I love it.
Correct.
She was the best thing about the division.
Yeah.
Should have been the one winning the match, but yeah.
And then you got Saraya, who, I get it, they wanted the home crowd pop, right? Yeah. But beyond that, like, she's now the champion of a division where she can't even really defend because she has her issues. She has health issues, and I totally get that. But was it the right move to put the title on her? Wouldn't it have been better if Toni Storm screwed her, and then now you can at least have Saraya versus Toni Storm? Or
I'm not sure whether this was supposed to be the plan all along because for the longest time, it was Jamie Hayter holding the title, right?
Yeah.
And Jamie Hayter going into All In, defending the title would have been amazing, would have been perfect, right?
Mm-mm.
And in my mind, I'm not sure whether that was the plan, but I had a feeling that it could have been Jamie Hayter versus Saraya at All In. If that was really what was supposed to go down, at least if they had built it, Saraya coming and challenging for the title would have made sense. But my problem is Saraya randomly won a qualifier match to go into this show.
Yeah.
And then, like, to me, her winning is not the issue. It's how they got her to this position was the issue. Came into it, she's so cool. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and we all know that Saraya has been cold for a very, very, very long time. She was only cheered because she's the hometown hero. You know?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with her accomplishments. Like,
nope.
If they build up her return, I've been working so hard in this ring. I've been proving myself. Finally, I give challenge for the title. There could have been a story there, but no, it's just like, oops, okay, Saraya, All In, London, might as well put her on top. That's it.
And is this a case of, this is the biggest show of the year, so we try to squeeze in as many people as possible?
As many British people as possible.
Oh no, just like WrestleMania, how they try to squeeze in all the wrestlers to get a payday, right? Like, this is okay, we reward you, Britt Baker, even though she had, basically nothing to do for the past couple of months, right?
Britt needs a refresh as well. She's cold.
Yeah, so I have not much to say about this match because it was kind of blah to me. You know?
It was what it was. The only thing I like is just "We Will Rock You" lah. Cool to hear that at Wembley.
Sure. Darby Allin and Sting versus Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland. Okay, when did Swerve and Prince Nana suddenly become friends with Christian Cage? Don't get me wrong, I love Christian Cage,
It was last minute because they randomly kicked out AR Fox from their team and then replaced it with Christian Cage. So there's some last minute changes there. I'm not sure how. But
isn't Darby Allin also feuding with somebody else? Apparently he's in 2 feuds.
He's fighting with Christian Cage and he has issues with Swerve Strickland because of Nick Wayne, his child prodigy, remember?
Right. And then they're like, of course, like, the Christian Cage promos have been hilarious.
Yeah, I love her.
Your father thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's always hitting on people's moms also.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
He was flirting with Nick Wayne's mom this time around. When I think of Nick Wayne, I think of these people, right? You know who I think of?
Who?
Action Andretti. That's just the perfect encapsulation of them bringing random people, pushing them for like 3 weeks and then they're gone.
Correct.
No follow-up.
Yeah, Action who? Yeah, nobody cares anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, the coffee match was what it was. A lot of people were joking that they never really truly beat Swerve Strickland because his hair was still outside.
They didn't shut it properly. They didn't seal it up. Look, by this time, you had Bullet Club Gold, you had the Eddie Kingston, the Stadium Stamp. You had like 2 other garbage matches already that were all over the place, right? So it was very hard at this point to even like stomach it anymore. I had lost interest. Actually, I lost interest at Stadium Stampede already.
There was a lot of bullshit in the middle of the card.
Yeah, there was
a lot of bullshit.
A lot of nonsense. Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho. Okay, of all the matches, this one actually surprised me the most in a positive way.
I know. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about the entrances first?
Chris Jericho singing his Judas.
No, it's not that. Him before singing Judas, him trying to act like Freddie Mercury. People were saying like, this guy cannot make it. He's trying to do the call and response.
Yeah, nope. And then it's like, nope, no, it doesn't work with you. Did you enjoy this match? I think, okay, you know why? I probably think I enjoyed this match, right? Because the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5 matches before this were all cluster matches. Like, lots of people in it. It was hard to follow tight matches. At least this one is like 2 guys with maybe a corner man each.
Okay, first of all, right, the booking of it was so random. It just came out of nowhere. Suddenly, for no reason, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay, right?
Yeah.
But the promo segment, the signing segment that they had on the Dynamite prior to the show sold it for me because I think the 2 of them cut some of the best promos of their careers, right? Whether it was Will Ospreay trying to saying that this match is important, but I need to prove myself, I need to prove that I can be on the level of Chris Jericho, blah, blah. And then Chris Jericho was like, I'm going to try to prove myself to all my haters who doubt me, who thinks that I'm past over the hill.
Yeah.
Like, fuck all of you. Like, so they both had really great motivations coming to the match. And I think they wrestled like they meant it. They wrestled both like trying to prove a point.
Yes.
So I think, right, this was the best Chris Jericho has looked in a while.
Yeah.
In the ring. And of course, you could tell it was a lot of Will Ospreay's smoke and mirrors flying all over for Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
But Chris Jericho
Also,
did his part, yeah.
yeah. And also, it was, by and large, no bullshit. Like, you know how in recent months it's been Chris Jericho with the JAS, and then there's a lot of interference, a lot of this, that. So none of that gaga, none of that bullshit, right? It's just, two guys wrestling a match. And we forget sometimes, as much shit I want to talk about Chris Jericho, in recent months, it's like, okay, dude can still go when it counts, when it's just one-on-one telling a story.
You remember why you love him, lah. Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. He rolled back the years because I think and I think he actually brought up a great point. Like, he managed the workload well. He was smart with how he used himself, and he did some athletic stuff. He jumped and did the code breaker. He still did his lion salt, blah blah blah. But I felt like he leaned into being the heel in this match and let Will Ospreay be the full-on babyface in this match.
Well, I mean, Ospreay was hometown hero, right? So yeah, he was definitely going to get cheered anyway.
Yeah, I think Ospreay needs a bigger stage, bro. I think he's too good for New Japan. I don't know whether All Elite will really push him, but if you want like a top main eventer to replace the new generation, like, bro, Ospreay is the guy, bro.
Bro, you have Jay White there. You have all these big name guys. Miro, Hobbs. What happened to Walt? Is he still injured?
He's still not around. Yeah, still disappeared from the screen.
I do not have high hopes for Will Ospreay making it big in AEW. Not because of his talent, but because of the booking.
We've all agreed that AEW has talented roster.
Yes.
But they are not being booked well.
Yeah.
They are very cold as characters. And to me, I would argue the thing that got over organically in this company in recent months was something random and out of the blue. MJF and Adam Cole.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. It's, that's the problem when you have a leader who's not a leader, who has no vision, who doesn't know what they're doing. They just let the inmates run the asylum. Those who are good will rise. Those who are not so good will just do their garbage match shit and not rise, and they'll be there scratching their head. Why are we not drawing?
Not that. But again, people bought these tickets, make it the most sold out, paid attendance, not because of a certain wrestler or a certain match.
No.
They just want to be part of this happening, right?
Bro, yeah, they bought the tickets before there was even a main event or any of the matches. So yeah, at the end of the day, and it's very interesting too, leading to the end of the night, right? And we'll get to that in a bit, because at the end of the night, actually, you know what, let's just address it now. They announced that they are coming back next year for All In, Wembley again. I'm very interested to see the attendance for next year now, to see if they can maintain this momentum. Because, okay, the first one will always be the best one, right? So the next one, they actually have to put up a card that people will want to see. Because if they don't, then they will be like, oh, okay, it's last year already we went what,
You know what? I am very happy that they're going to do Wembley again. Because this gives me a chance in possibly going there next year. I do not know. I would love to. But
bro, save your money for when WWE goes to Wembley. Come on, they are going to try.
WrestleMania in Wembley, say. Yeah, but you're right? They got lucky in the sense that they announced it happening. People were there for the intrigue of it. But now they really have to put in the work if you're gonna come back. Correct. What can they do to push the main event or put on a great card? They need something for that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn beating the House of Black. House rules, no holds barred. Convoluted bullshit.
I didn't like this result. I love the Acclaim. Of course, we all know we love the Acclaim. But I think House of Black has been low-key doing some of the best work of their career on Collision the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And I don't think they deserve this. I don't think the story of Daddy S coming back together warrants in them enough to defeat.
I don't get this story. Maybe I just haven't been following it enough. But so, Malachi Black whispers some shit into his ear, then he takes off his boots, he retires for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, but that was like some last minute rush bullshit, if he's going to retire, at least stretch this out for a few months, then he finally makes his comeback. Like, him coming back after a 2-week retirement meant nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It just deluded. And the Acclaim is so sad because I felt like a lot of things that got them popular in the first place, they're kind of losing sight of that. Yep. Now they're really relying on this Daddy S scenario to keep them over. What if Billy Gunn is not part of their act? They're just gonna become like nobodies again. So
correct.
Not a fan of this victory, lah.
I don't know. It feels like Tony Khan is like, actually they are quite hot, having missed the boat completely with them, having them drop the tag team titles, blah blah blah. Right? They're like, okay, I'll give them the trios title. At least you have a title. It's like, no, but it means nothing. These titles we all know mean nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't because for it to mean something, right? It needs to be like a Gunther where there's clear focus on the champion, a clear division around him, people wanting to challenge for the titles, but it's just random matches at this point, random booking. It's exhibitions.
Yeah. Jason says favorite part of the match, Julia Hart. Hey, look, you know the House of Black is doing this house rules things, right? So what is the match that the Acclaim choose? No holds barred, which is the exact same stipulation as every single one of the other matches previously. It's like, why didn't they try to do something special, different? I don't know. Julia Hart on a pole match, okay, maybe not. Like do something like a strap match, Inferno. I don't know what lah, but you know what I mean. Like,
no, I get it. Make it different.
Yeah, this house rules match, make it a 5-count match, whatever. House rules, quote unquote, no holds, but it means nothing when everything else previously was already a hardcore match or
correct,
no holds barred match.
They need some creativity, like house rules, something new, a ladder match, even a freaking cage match, whatever it is, something that is memorable.
A KO match where you can only win by KO, you know, something like that.
Yeah, like whatever it is, I think this was the dead spot because clearly this was supposed to be the spot before the main event match. So it was what it was.
Let's talk about the main event, and I know we still have 2 more pay-per-views to go, so let's
power through. Yeah, let's power through.
Look, MJF, Adam Cole, no doubt, I've said this before, has been very entertaining, but I don't think should be what headlined this pay-per-view. Yeah. As in, it wouldn't have sold if it was announced first, I feel.
It's crazy, mind-blowing to think that the biggest paid attendance in the whole of wrestling history, the main event was MJF versus Adam Cole. As much as I like both of them, it's no Rock versus Austin, it's no Cena versus Shawn Michaels, or it's not what you expect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and maybe it's... What am I hearing in the back?
Oh, sorry.
It's like there's a TV going on or something like that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. But yeah, like it felt like an intercontinental title match, and not in a Bret Hart, British Bulldog kind of way either.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe that's what they were going for. Like, I would have an IC equivalent, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it felt kind of like meh. Right? Like, and maybe this is them saying like, okay, we don't need the big horses to be, but it's not about like, it's not that too, you know? Like, I don't know, man. It just felt underwhelming to me. Then again, you look at the whole card, there's nobody else that could have fit the main event bill. So,
MJF and Adam Cole, I like their story. I like that they're trying to have that, can this friendship survive the world titles? Yeah. It's a fair, compelling story, and I think they made it clear, bro. They said and admitted on their press scrum that they randomly got put together. It wasn't even like some long-term storytelling. They just randomly got put together and they wanted to make it work based out of that.
Wait, bro. That tells you a lot about freaking Tony Khan and his booking. How do you do that to your main star, your champion? How are you randomly booking your champion?
I think that's what it is, right? Again, the thing that got over in AEW is something that wasn't planned.
Yeah,
and they're just letting it run organically. So that is not credit to Tony Khan. That's credit to Adam Cole and MJF.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
I see your point where MJF and Adam Cole technically feels like an IC title feud. Shouldn't be a main event of like such a big show. But also looking at the landscape in AEW right now, that's the best they got. That's really the best they got. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you like the? This was more of a storytelling match, more of a like Roman Reigns has done in the past couple of months. You know, that sort of main event where they are like emoting and acting, and they did a very good job of it.
Yeah. Of course, MJF, like no one can dispute his talent at this point in time.
So good.
And we've all agreed that it's not just his character work. He's great in the ring.
Yeah.
He can deliver in the ring, and I think,
it's his facials as well. He makes everything work. He can be a dastardly bastard with one look. He can also be a goofy, lovable guy with one look.
Can I praise one thing about Adam Cole? And I think this one is a bit underrated about him. He's also great at emoting as well.
Yeah.
Adam Cole having this like sense of morality of whether to hurt his best friend or not, or like getting increasingly agitated and starting to do all these like heelish things. Actually, Adam Cole has a great sports entertainment face, in my opinion. You know,
he does.
He does.
You know what he would be great as?
Don't tell me a manager.
A manager for, I don't know, maybe someone like Keith Lee one day.
Okay. Then let's go down that road. No, but we've all talked about his physique and all that, right? But for this match, I didn't notice it. Like he did a job where he did a good enough job in performing the match that I wasn't nitpicking or he looks too small for a world title. You know what I mean?
You know why, right? I don't know if you
Why?
noticed this, but the first thing they did when they started the match, they wear t-shirt.
They wore
t-shirt, bro. I wonder if that was, that was a thing they did on purpose or what? It was like their brother shirt, right? Their tag team shirt.
Yeah. Which goes to the point, right? They started off the event with the ROH World Title, and like Jason correctly pointed out, MJF got kangaroo kick over, double clothesline over. It's funny stuff, right?
Yeah, it's funny stuff. But at some point, your main champion has to be a serious draw. It has to be involved in a serious issue. And right now, especially considering the importance of this event, I feel like they missed the mark. It could have been something important and big.
Yeah.
And,
I would say that again, it was the best that they got, and they're trying to make do with what they had. And MJF worked super hard, and let's be honest, the crowd was super into the main event.
For sure.
So it's credit to them. But again, like they continued and extended the story because there wasn't a clear scenario on who won or like whether who will turn on who. They still survive with the friendship intact.
Yeah. To be fair, okay, I have to say that it was probably the right thing to do, because if you had a turn at the end, right, then you leave everybody with a sour note. And you needed to end with a high. So they hug, they're still friends, blah blah blah. Roddy comes out and he kelefe a bit.
I love Roddy. Roddy as a jilted ex-best friend.
Wearing the
That's hilarious.
Hit him.
That was hilarious. And also one thing there was some great storytelling involved because of course they ended the match on a count out. Everyone was booing, and then remember Adam Cole was saying like 5 more minutes, and this time around in a bit of character development, MJF agreed to it.
Yeah. Not only did he agree to it, he said no first, and people are like, oh boo, right? He's being a heel. Then he's like, we go until somebody like
he used the F-bomb.
Effing winner. Then the crowd cheered. It was great. Sort of like moment building, which I really appreciated as well. And I guess if any match needed that, it would be this match, because all the other matches were just like giant clusterfucks of action.
Yeah.
So
the craziest thing is, right, a lot of people say like, oh, there needs to be a promotion just for the pro wrestling, just for the match. There needs to be a promotion just for sports entertainment. But can I just make this great proclamation, right? The thing that draws in wrestling is still stories. Still the performance, still like a main event fight feel where it's all about the character and emotion.
Yes.
I don't think a straight up wrestling match draws anything.
No, you can have the best wrestling match ever, but if nobody knows who you are, nobody knows why you're fighting, people would not pay attention. And like there's no, like, what's the point of being a quote unquote purist? Oh, we only want the pure wrestling. It's like, okay, but boring. Like nobody
UFC proves that point because like nobody watches undercuts.
No,
people only watch for that one main event, and the only reason why people watch that main event, they try to tell a story, a conflict in that main event.
Yeah. So this one is like the production team lah, and
they
need to AEW needs to go and hire some of these like WWE and UFC production team people, because god damn, man, they can do packages. All right. You know what? Let's talk about All Out very quickly. I also want to really talk about Payback. I'm just looking at the cards. I'm like, wow, really? AEW, Tony Khan needs to understand that less is more. I'm looking at the Payback card. It's like 6 matches, right?
Yeah.
And it felt like I enjoyed my time a lot more. It's about letting people enjoy the moments, having the moments, but not giving them so much until you get overwhelmed. By the time the main event comes, you're like, right? So, okay, All Out, I only watched half of it. I got so tired of AEW nonsense. I was like, nope, not interested anymore. So I did watch Better Than You, Baby versus The Dark Order. Okay, how, bro, explain to me how you have the main event of your biggest show 1 week before, the next week, they are tag teaming in the opening match against Okay, opening match is fine. We've established before opening match sets the pace for the whole night, right? That's fine. Versus the Dark Order, a jobber team.
From
Like,
out of
what-
nowhere, out
Yeah.
of obscurity.
What are you doing? What is?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the card. It straight up looks like an episode of Dynamite. What the fuck is this? What are you doing?
They
Who
were trying
are-
to tell us. They were trying to tell a story of like MJF getting injured for most of the match, and it was Adam Cole carrying the
Yeah,
match. But
sure, they tried to do the best. Once again, they do the talents do the best they can with the shit that they're given. But at the end of the day, they're given shit. So no matter how amazing you are, it's still gonna stink a little bit.
yeah, you know what? They could have just done a rematch with Aussie Open. At least it would make sense storyline wise, right?
Yeah.
Aussie still wants their title.
Even then, it wouldn't draw. Like they think that the Dark Order are a name in AEW. They are not.
They're just a name. They just a name. There's
Yeah.
no heat. The most popular they were was 2 years ago when they were running with Hangman Page, but they're not relevant anymore. And like you said, you watch half of it. I'm gonna be really, really honest. I didn't watch All Out at all.
Okay,
I didn't
okay.
even. I just read the results. I read Bleacher Report's review of it, and I already have enough sensing of whether it was good or not.
I want to know what the buy rate for this pay-per-view is, because you have to imagine it was bad compared to, like, because everyone probably bought all in, right? Who is going to spend another $50, $30, whatever it is, going to buy another pay-per-view with like these matches?
I got the figures actually. So what's funny, right? Is
Tell
that
me, yeah.
Fight TV, right, was kind of like promoting All In, $22.95 SGD, Singapore dollars. All Out was $29.90.
Why was All Out more expensive?
Yeah, so I'm just telling you that upfront. For some reason, they promoted All Out as like the more expensive card on our Fight TV app. So I don't know. That says a lot about. I don't know why. It just says a lot, but
Yes.
maybe because All In was like a new event, or they didn't call it as part of the traditional Big Four. I do not know, because Forbidden Door was also cheaper as well. So it seems like they promote Double or Nothing, All Out, Full Gear as like the bigger shows, but
like
clearly it wasn't.
No. This was a
Wasn't booked that way.
throwaway. This is a throwaway show. The most
Yeah.
throwaway show I've ever seen. Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh wait. Before I know you want to talk about that match, but you asked me what was the buy rate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was only 100,000 buys,
Okay.
and their live gate was only 800,000.
Which is lower or what?
Last year, or even up to this year, every gate that they've done is usually above 1 million. So they sold 10,000 tickets, but their buy rate was lower than 1 million, and it's the lowest All Out buy rate ever.
I mean, it's their a problem they caused themselves. Who asked them to book 2 pay-per-views back to back, for crying out loud? That's so
exactly
crazy. And it would be one thing if the second pay-per-view had like banger matches. It did not. Like I said, Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the ROH World Television Championship, because apparently Shane Taylor is this very hot indie guy. I was like, who is this guy? What
I was like, where did he come from? Since
Yeah.
when was he feuding with Samoa Joe? And why I have never heard of his name?
Did they do it just to have that MJF Samoa Joe interaction? So the shove thing, call back to NXT, that's great. And Samoa Joe versus MJF will be a really good feud. Imagine the promos.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that development, but who the fuck is Shane Taylor, bro?
I know. I thought it was the NXT guy last time. You remember this Aussie guy called Shane Taylor? He became part of the
TM31K or something.
yeah,
like that, right?
31K.
I don't know what.
The Mustafa Ali, what's that group? The Reckoning, the Revive? No,
Oh
the what?
yeah, Reckoning.
Reckoning. Yeah, he was one of the Reckoning, right? I thought it was that Shane Taylor, and then I saw this big African American guy. I'm like, that's not the Shane Taylor I know. I was like, who is this guy? And Samoa Joe beat him. It's like, this is a match straight off Dynamite. Some new guy gets fed to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe drops him out.
It's not even a match worthy of Dynamite. It's like a Rampage match or like a freaking ROH taping, bro. Like,
So I'm like, wow, okay. Luchasaurus beat Darby Allin, which is great, whatever, they're doing that thing. I don't care anymore. I actually skipped that match because I wanted to watch the next one, Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
yeah.
And that was where the men meet forever. Because there were two like big horses beating the shit out of it. Oh, Retribution lah. Reckoning.
What do you say? Oh, you said Reckoning.
Reckoning.
Reckoning is the Mia Yim, bro.
Yeah, Mia Yim. Yeah.
Michin.
So Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs was great. I mean, it was what it was. It was a meat slapping fight lah, and the crowd had fun with it. And then CJ Perry came out, right? Looking incredible, as she always does, gets into the ring, tries to save her hubby and everything. And then Miro snubs her. So, okay, what is the deal there, you reckon? Like
well, I mean, in his promos, he said he has forsaken his wife, he's forsaken God, right? So
his flexible wife.
Yeah. He said he gave up on her because he's like, he doesn't believe in them anymore. So I don't know whether he's gonna explain the story, but CJ Perry joining Miro and teasing a reunion in AEW. What do you think about it in 2023?
I don't understand what the point is though. Like if there was a point, sure, right? Are they trying to play off the fact that she quote unquote cheated on him with Bobby Lashley last time? And that's why he are they running like their own little storyline?
Yeah, that would be a very funny long-term storyline development. But for the first time in my life, having Lana appear on TV was like, why?
Right, yeah, right? Like
which is not usually my reaction when I see Lana on TV, but why?
Jason says CJ Perry's Titantron says hot and flexible. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Did it really? I didn't notice.
Okay, that would be funny. That was funny if that's
wasn't the case. There a point where the crowd was chanting beat his meat at Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs? And then when Lana came in the ring, they chanted that louder, beat his meat. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I heard.
Chicago fans, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, talking about Chicago. Apparently, they booed the hell out of the Bucks and Elite and Kenny, which, makes sense, right?
Yeah, they deserve it.
Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soso. I mean...
Okay, I love Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
I think she looks dope, and I can't remember. Her face looks very similar to somebody, but I just can't place a finger on it.
Okay.
But she's strong and she's great. Ruby Soho is like
cold. Yeah.
And she's been in the company for 2 years. She debuted on the same night as CM Punk's first match. And we look at what CM Punk has done in these 2 years and compare it to Ruby Soho. You know what I mean?
And the TBS championship, once again, it means nothing. And Saraya has the other championship, so it's like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, and the fact that Tony Storm appeared was a nice surprise. Her turning, I suppose, on Ruby Soho and aligning with the champion, Chris Statlander, also is a weird surprise. But
well, I mean, there was the whole thing, at All In because like Saraya screwed her, quote unquote, spray her.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? I want to care, but I just.
You don't. I don't. You're right, because they've just done a piss poor job of telling this story, Bryan Danielson, Ricky Starks, no disqualification strap match. So what do you think about that quote-unquote reveal on Collision? Yes, I have a contract here versus the Dragon. But it's actually the American Dragon. Ho, 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 bamboozle.
Clever. But you know what? Ricky Starks was acting that promo all like it was the 1980s, bro. You know how they overact?
Yeah. Then he realized, what? No, look, I think that sort of thing calls for it. Like, if he underacted, it wouldn't sell the shock, right?
No, what I mean is like, I think he's still stuck in the 80s in the way he performs his promos, right? Where he's like super over the top, where everything needs to be so expressive. It was funny, but can we just say, I think Bryan Danielson at this point in his life, right, must be so tired of cleaning up after CM Punk.
Yeah, he's like the default guy to bring back when CM Punk gets into trouble.
Yeah, even in WWE also, right? He got pushed because of CM Punk leaving.
The only issue here is like, look, Bryan Danielson back, he beats Ricky Starks. It feels like poor Ricky Starks once again hits a wall. Every time he gets a push, he hits a wall. Because he aligns himself with the wrong people in this case.
But I felt like Ricky Starks actually proved himself a lot in this match. Like this is the only match that I actually watched proper clips of. And I also my favorite thing about this whole pay-per-view wasn't the pay-per-view, it was watching the press scrum. So I put in the effort to listen to the media scrum more than watching the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Bryan Danielson admitted that actually it was Ricky Starks that carried him through the match.
Oh.
And that was what got me interested to watch the match. Because then when I watched the match, I realized actually, there was a lot of smoke and mirrors in the match. Do you realize Bryan Danielson didn't even use his hand to punch Ricky the whole time?
To protect him, is it?
Yeah, because he actually returned from his broken arm 1 month earlier than his timeline. Yeah, so it's definitely it wasn't part of the plan. He rushed back because of the CM Punk situation, but it was Ricky Starks that protected and sold and carried the match for Bryan because he's been out and he's been rusty. So I think this was a proving match for Ricky Starks.
Do you think that is the reason that this wasn't the main event?
Yeah, I mean, you can't put most of your chips on a guy who literally just returned.
Yeah.
But doesn't give a good excuse to make what we saw was the main event lah. Just my opinion lah.
Okay, let's move on. BCC, Claudio and Yuta versus Eddie Kingston and Shibata. Okay, I thought Shibata's promo on Collision was funny. Did you see what they did?
No, I didn't see what he did.
So, Eddie Kingston does his whole scolding people thing, whatever, right? It said like, Shibata, what do you think of them? And then he holds up his phone, Google Translate. You both suck. I laughed my ass off. I don't know why that caught me.
Oh, so he Googled it on Google Translate.
Yeah, like he basically typed it on Google Translate and then he held up his phone to the camera and pressed, you both suck. With the AI voice. I don't know why I laughed my ass off at that. That was damn funny. Because obviously Shibata is not going to fucking cut a promo, right?
Okay. I mean, there's a creative way. I mean, between that and Nakamura cutting anime promos with subtitles, I think they are doing their Japanese wrestlers justice. So good for them.
They are not trying to get them to say something that makes them sound weird, right? And I think the reason that was very funny to me is because Eddie Kingston, he goes on his 1 minute blah 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 first, and then Shibata just like, you both suck.
I can see the humor behind that.
Yeah, so I actually enjoyed that. I didn't watch the match, so I have nothing to say about the match. Takeshita beat Kenny Omega. Looks like the right result because they need to be pushing this guy, right? We've talked about how he looks like he has the most potential out of all the Japanese dudes they have there.
Yeah. If there's one match I will actually check out other than the match I mentioned just now, I think Omega versus Takeshita would have been interesting because of course Takeshita, the last time I saw him had a one-on-one match with Omega, it was a great Dynamite main event, and Takeshita, just something about him just screams power. He got size and he moves fast, bro.
Why couldn't this be the match at All In?
Well, I don't know. They want to promote that stupid Stadium Stampede and other shit lah.
Because this match, they legit have a feud, right? Because of Don Callis stabbing Kenny Omega in the back, physically and metaphorically, and Takeshita, blah blah blah. So there is a story there. So that should have been that match, but they decided on the clusterfuck match. Bullet Club Gold and. No, just Bullet Club Gold. So the Guns and the Gin and Juice versus FTR and the Young Bucks.
So they had a 3-week feud and now they're best friends teaming up again.
Okay, somebody explain, was it like a begrudging, we won, but we respect you sort of a bullshit thing? That's why they went up against Bullet Club Gold, and apparently the Young Bucks got booed to death. I actually kind of want to watch this just for the Chicago crowd more than anything.
Well, okay, on the download, are you watching it on Watch Wrestling? Is there a good stream there or what?
I don't know, not sure. I'll see.
Not sure. Okay, anything, just text me lah. Text me the stream. Or anyone wants to contribute. You know why? Because I ain't gonna pay shit to watch this all out, bro. So I'm gonna look it up, but I'm not gonna bother paying for it.
Look at clips. And then you got your main event, Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy. We have a new international champion. Does this even mean anything? And also talking about the BCC, right? You have everybody in the BCC being heels except for Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Okay. I know they've been trying to push Orange Cassidy. I know they're trying to build him up as this great champion that has been defending the title over 31 times.
Means nothing.
Again, right? The problem is, right, it literally is the international title. And just because you defend it multiple times and you successfully defend it doesn't make it worthy to main event a pay-per-view that people are gonna pay $30 to watch.
Exactly.
Right? Because, first of all, Orange Cassidy, as much as he's been presented seriously, and okay, fine, I can respect that, they're trying to put in some effort behind him. There isn't any story between him and Jon Moxley, other than Jon Moxley winning a match or whatever it is, or he defended the title against Penta, he survived, and now he fight with Jon Moxley.
It's a rush job.
It is
completely rushed.
John Moxley only cut one time promo on Collision to like build up the match, and there we go. There is it. You know?
Yeah. It's I just like I don't even want to go and watch this. You know? Like there's literally nothing like, oh, John Moxley won the title, which means nothing anyway. Who has Orange Cassidy really beat? Nobody's, right? So it's like
if I was a fan, right, in Chicago buying a ticket with the assumption I was gonna be watching CM Punk return to All Out, because like he returned a few months ago, like, oh, finally CM Punk's gonna come, then we're gonna buy the ticket.
Yeah.
To find out that the main event ends up being John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. How will you feel?
Piss. I wonder. They might have killed the Chicago market. Like they might never be able to come back to Chicago. They'll get booed out every single time.
Yeah, they destroyed one of their biggest ones. And I know Tony Khan is gonna be like, oh, I came from Champaign, Illinois. You know, I'm also one of you. Blah blah blah.
Bro, he got booed out of the buildings.
Yeah.
He tried to. Did you see the clips of him trying to address the crowd? I think on Collision.
Yeah.
The Chicago crowd just shat all over him.
He sat down on the chair, the top of the stage, and tried to explain himself. He needs to become a Vince McMahon, just turn heel lah. Fuck it lah.
You know he will never. His fragile ego cannot handle it. One like Vince would immediately like ha ha ha, and then like completely leaned into it, right? Yeah. He just like, oh my god, they hate me, but I want them to love me. You know?
Can somebody clip that part and put it out on TikTok? Dear God. It was that's why I say it didn't say for example, if a pay-per-view lives and dies by whether a card can sell the pay-per-view for fans to buy, this would have failed. This event failed just solely based on the card. No one would pay a dime for it. And 100,000 might seem like a lot, but that is if it's in Singapore. But 100,000 in the entire American North market is like a fucking half a town don't even want to go watch this show.
Right.
So
it's sad, man. Like, just you guys enjoyed my Tony Khan impersonation. Very good.
I
mean, okay. You know what? Let's wrap things up by. It's 2:00 already, for crying out loud. Let's wrap things up by talking about something that's actually fun to watch now. Okay. You look at All Out. It was 13 matches deep. Even if you remove the prelim matches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. Wow. It feels like Payback had more things happen, but they had 6 matches only.
Yeah. I can name you 10 things that happened in Payback that caught my eye that I'll still be talking about.
Exactly.
More than what happened here.
Yeah, right? Okay, let's jump right in. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus. I mean, Trish in a cage match doing what she did. I'm like, is this like her big swan song, like doing it one last time just for the... Just to do it? Just to show that she still got it?
Just because she's 47 years old.
Yeah.
She's a year older than John Cena.
Yeah.
And she looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she just had the best match of her career.
Yeah. And she put herself through this. I was like, what is going on here? This is Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch. Then there was the whole Zoe Starks thing at the end. I don't know if Trish and Zoe are going to have a program like moving on.
Yeah. I saw the welts that she got on her forehead. Like, damn, girl, she really took that directly to her face. She did kena superplex. What the fish? So I mean, credits to Becky Lynch. I mean, I'm sure Becky Lynch was a ring general in that match, but I think this was really a highlight. I think what I see was 2 women who were so pissed that they got left off the SummerSlam card.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, now I have to extend this rivalry for 1 more month and no one gives a shit. And then they're like, fuck it, we're going to put on the best match.
Yeah.
A banger just for this pay-per-view. So I think that's what they did.
And I think what I appreciated about this match was they used the cage as the weapon and they didn't have to bring out 1,000 weapons.
Yeah.
You know how and we've talked about it before, right? A Hell in a Cell match, the gimmick is the cell. You don't need to bring in kendo sticks. You don't need to bring in thumbtacks, exploding sneakers and bullshit. The cage itself is supposed to be the weapon, you know?
Remember when we were in the PG era, we were like, we should have more blood. WWE is just too safe and so boring, so sterile. And then we had AEW where it just went all the way to the other extreme. And then now we're like, we appreciate simplicity.
No, it's not that. It's very much you go and do something too much, you desensitize yourself to it, and then to a point where it no longer means anything. Like John Moxley bleeding. Orange Cassidy bled for John. You know?
Yeah.
Like if every match is a bleeder, then bleeding means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And also I love the callbacks. I think it was Victoria's Widow's Peak.
Widow's Peak,
Trish did. and then Becky did the Twist of Fate from Lita. I think
Yeah.
those are the kind of homages that as a wrestling fan that you feel rewarded.
Yeah.
If you understand the context. Yeah, so it's good.
LA Knight versus The Miz, John Cena, special guest referee. Like, you could see that John Cena was having a bit of fun, right? He was like super campy, acting it up, camping it up.
I love it. And I love how we've seen the growth of The Miz. Remember last time, like 10 years ago, he would have been like the complete butt of all jokes, getting owned by John Cena. But now he was like putting some bang, like he was some put downs, man, on John Cena, calling him Teletubby. Yeah,
I mean, doesn't it feel like John Cena respects him now? Like, I mean, not that he didn't respect him before, but like they were on the same level. You know what I mean? In terms of on the mic, right? So, and I loved it. You know, I just love that. And I've talked about this so many times. The Miz, to me, is the most underrated WWE superstar. Everyone always shits on him because he is the butt of the jokes, right? But whenever you give him something to do, he'll do it to the best of his abilities. Like, I can respect that.
Yeah, and the best thing about this match, right, was that whether you realize it or not, right, both John Cena and The Miz was working super hard to put over LA Knight in this match, making LA Knight a star.
Yeah, that's the whole point, because they know LA Knight's star is rising right now and it is his time to shine. So basically everything was done to push LA Knight. Yeah,
even the interactions when, you know, he was having like his disagreements with John Cena as the ref. I like that because it's not just because he's a babyface, he's buddy with John Cena. You know, he was having some tension there. So that actually make the match 1 million times more compelling because of that John Cena element. So I really appreciate it as well.
Yeah, and then at the end you had John Cena raise LA Knight's hand, but you know, could they possibly be feuding in the future? I haven't watched Raw, so I don't know if anything happened, but we'll have to wait and see. LA Knight versus John Cena. I'm down for that. John Cena giving LA Knight the rub.
I'm down for that as well. And the best part is LA Knight looks like he can match up to John Cena as an equal. And that's not really something that happens regularly between like a previous generation star and a current generation. You always look like this guy's so much smaller than this previous wrestler, right? But LA Knight, physique is all there, bro.
You think about like the last person that John Cena tried to put over, Austin Theory. It's like, wow, that one like a bit wasted like that. Imagine
Austin Theory doesn't have the charisma of LA Knight for sure.
Imagine a three-way feud between LA Knight, The Miz, and John Cena. The promos?
All three shitting on each other. Sign me up, bro.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
I'm pretty sure I kind of snoozed on this one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, it's Rey. We all love Rey, but like, he's doing too much now. He should be legend and just chilling out once in a while. But I understand why this is happening. Because I foresee the turn. This is to set up the turn, right?
Like Rey on Santos? Or
No, Santos on Rey. Why would Rey turn on Santos?
I don't know. Maybe Rey is like, fuck it. I'm just going to be a heel for the first time in my career at 47 years old. I don't know.
It's Santos being like, you know what? I'm done being your little, errand boy. Me and Legado del Fantasma and Zelina Vega, they screw Rey and, like, it was supposed to be Santos versus Austin Theory anyway for the US title, right? And then like Rey was a last minute replacement, so you can play up the whole jealousy angle. Who like with Zelina and the other two jobbers, Legado guys, where do their loyalties lie? But then they're going to join Santos. And having watched their work in NXT, I still feel like Santos is a better heel.
No, I agree because I love, like you said, Santos run in NXT, but it's almost as if this feud or like this like connection between Santos and Rey at LW just overshadowed Austin Theory to the point that Triple H probably decided, you know what, just take the title of Austin, put it on Rey. Let's make the storyline on the US title revolve around this LWO drama. But who's the biggest loser out of this whole situation? Austin Theory.
Yeah. He's sort of kind of fallen off in terms of like importance or just general heat lah. But I mean, he's a young guy. In a few months,
he's going through his Cody Rhodes redemption arc, bro. He needs to fail. He needs to have a Stardust gimmick. Give him some time.
Or dashing Cody Rhodes. That's what he's doing right now, right? So I actually look forward to Santos turning heel on Rey. So I understand the setup, but that being said, I was meh about this match. Okay. Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Were you surprised at how much Kevin Owens bled?
Yeah. First of all, that's the most blood I've seen in WWE in a long time.
It had to be an accident, right? It can't be he went into business for himself, and because like isn't blading supposed to be not allowed anyway?
No, it's not. It's not. So I think either he took a hard way, or at that point in time, like something happened, and he's like, let's take advantage of the situation, whatever it was. But that became a meme when I saw him with the blood and wearing a hockey jersey. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and I love the fact that Judgment Day is kind of like low-key the number one faction in WWE right now.
Yeah, they are definitely on the ascension. JD McDonough sort of just randomly showing up. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. At least they're doing something with him, right?
Yeah. Nothing against JD, but he's just like that weird guy who's outside the crew trying to be part of the crew.
Correct.
I love Dominic appearing as well.
Yeah. It fits lah for their faction, their evil heels, and then you got Rhea freaking spearing Kevin Owens through the barricade.
Oh, that was a great moment. I love Rhea mixing it up with the guys.
Yes.
Love her China tribute during Payback as well. One thing also we kind of forget in this whole scenario is that, by the Judgment Day winning and dethroning Kevin and Sammy, which was like a great moment as well, is the fact that Finn Balor, even though yes, he lost the world title opportunity, he bounced back quite okay.
Yeah.
By winning the tag team champion and becoming a Grand Slam winner in WWE.
Right. Yeah. Wait. Was he not a tag team? Oh yeah, he wasn't. He was never in a tag team, huh?
He's never been in a tag team before until Judgment Day, bro.
Oh, okay, so, there you go. Now you have a Grand Slam champion. Was it the right result? I think so. I think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, their quote unquote, their story arc passed already. You know, that whole story arc with the Usos winning the titles. So it's been a while since they've been champion, and they haven't really been,
it's almost like not say a retirement run. It's like, like when you had a big victory, you're like kind of celebrating, basking in the glory for that couple of months.
Correct.
It's really that. There's not really much conflict, or even just like a happy honeymoon period as a champion. But I think it's time to move on.
It's time to pass the title on to somebody else to fulfill another storyline. For them, their storyline is over. They probably maybe take a break. I don't know how injured Kevin Owens was, but they'll still figure into the feud, hopefully, against the Judgment Day. And now you have Judgment Day with like a whole bunch of titles. So visually, it looks amazing as well. Especially with the Bloodline sort of like quieting down, right? There's no more like Roman Reigns Bloodline storyline. So now they are the dominant faction.
Honestly, I would love to see Sammy and Kevin return to the world title picture. I think, I know, Seth Rollins is technically a face and everyone's loving him and all that. But can you imagine a triple threat? Kevin, Sammy, and Seth?
Can.
That's
it would
NXT level of quality, bro.
It would also be the how manyth time Kevin Owens turn. Like if out of those three, who would be the most likely to turn heel? It would be Kevin Owens, right?
Maybe do a MJF and Adam Cole and have their friendship survive and they just go for a title. I don't know.
Sure. But I think this was the right move. I think they needed to give Judgment Day their time in the sun. Is their moment right now, right? Moving ahead. Talking about Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. I think there was no doubt that Rhea was going to win.
There was no doubt for sure, but I think there's also a great anticipation to see how this match would turn out. And just as I thought, it was a banger, bro. Best women's match or best defense of Rhea's title since she won the title, in my opinion.
Right.
It was a great start. To me, it was a great star-making moment for Raquel, because I think Raquel proved to a lot of people, not just the fans, but maybe people in management, that, hey, there might be this other girl that could actually match up to Rhea Ripley, and she push her as well.
Raquel just needs a better gimmick or something other than
she can't
muscles.
She can't be the smiling girl from Mexico. Big Mommy Cool, that was her best gimmick, bro.
Yes, she was a heel, but then you have Rhea as a heel, so you can't have two heels like that. So
can't she be the cool Diesel babyface? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Big Mommy Cool, exactly, right? Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Can we talk about the anime villain opening for Shinsuke? Well, first of all,
did you like that?
Yeah, first of all, he did the promo in Japanese, which was great. He became an anime villain. I love that promo. They should do more of that shit.
You're talking about the Raw one, right?
The Raw one, where he basically just explains what he whispered into Seth's ear. Like, I know, you're back, blah, 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 blah. And they made a nothing into something. Like, though, if you think about it, right, this feud, it hasn't been that long also. It's also been, how many weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
No, that's the thing, right? You compare the same time frame between FTR and Young Bucks. How come, right, this 2-3 weeks felt so compelling that okay, I'm gonna watch the main event.
Yeah.
But whatever they did with John Moxley and Orange Cassidy, FTR Young Bucks, like
felt like nothing. No
nothing
build.
because they didn't even they had no build physically. Why was there no video build to this level?
Because one is a indie show, another one is a proper company with video producers. They okay, we want to tell this story. Can you help us make this video? And then they have the best editors. Like a lot of people when we watch WWE, like it's all about the the stars, everything. We always forget. A lot of the times, it's these video packages, it's this editing that makes these things 100 times better than it is.
Bro, the main event, it's not just the main event. I think just every single piece of content that WWE puts out is just quality.
Yes, it is 100%. You don't see them sleeping on their quality. And like, honestly, we've seen this match before. Wasn't this the main event in Singapore?
Yes, shit.
Yeah, so this match has happened. It happened so many times already, but because of that promo and then the freaking intro with and I'm not a fan of anime. I'm not a weeb, right? As they call it. But
okay.
Even I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm sure the angmos, the weebs, you know what a weeb is, right?
Yeah.
The weebs will lap this up.
Well, basically, the funny thing is, when I watched this intro, right, I was thinking to myself, like, this felt like a New Japan, like, Wrestle Kingdom entrance, in my opinion. And that was like the best version of Nakamura, and everybody knows how amazing his entrance, how extravagant his entrances in. But then I just felt like what they did with Nakamura from 2017, 2018, all the way until like this last few years, just destroyed his mystique, bro. It's like Ronda Rousey in 2023, like, man, you just wasted and all that, and you had to hit him back up, which is such a waste, lah. You already had such a great talent there. But yeah, overall, what do you think of the match? Was it worthy of the main event?
I almost wish that Judgment Day versus Kevin Owens Sami Zayn was the main event. Like, I'm not saying I didn't like it. It's two really talented people. But like you said, after the glitz and the glamour and the hype building from the packages that made it look cool, it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. They had to because they had only 2 weeks, right? But at least they tried to hype it up.
I mean, we can all admit that this is just a placeholder feud, probably for Seth.
Yeah, because Shinsuke lost. So I don't think there's any sort of and it lost in a decisive way. It wasn't like, oh, he squeaked out a win or he lost by count out or whatever, right? It was like, oh, this is over already. It's obviously a side quest.
Didn't Seth attack him? No, sorry. Didn't Shinsuke attack him?
After that? Did he?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think he did. I saw clips. But again, right? Shinsuke and Nakamura was Shinsuke and Seth was a random feud built within 2 weeks, and in headline Payback. So I understand Payback, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't headlining a Wembley Stadium show. It wasn't one of their biggest big four pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was a B show, and in that context, okay, fine, I can accept it. And it was still a banger match, right?
And if you subscribe to the WWE network, which a lot of fans do, it's technically it's free, right? Like yeah, exactly. I get it. It's you're not having to fork out an extra $50, $30 to go and watch this.
Yeah. So to me, it's like no one gets out of it, missing out on anything or losing out.
To me, it provided value. Everything top. I had low expectations. I was like, oh, okay, it actually overperformed, right? And WWE is doing a very good job of like giving you value for your time, not just your money, your time as well. Because you invest time. So when I go into a WWE PLE now, I'm like, okay, at least I know that for the time that I invest, I will be sports entertained. Versus
and one interesting thing from this run of pay-per-views or PLEs this past year, don't you realize they've been actually delivering great shows for their B-level pay-per-views?
Yes, exactly. Where we kind of go into it going, okay, like it's just a Payback or Roadblock or whatever bullshit, right? But it's like, whoa, all right. Whereas on the AEW side, it's like a smoke screen, right? They give you so much, but actually you only want one or two. You know what I mean?
Yep. The value was there. So again, Payback, I thought exceeded expectations. I think it was the best pay-per-view of this weekend.
Yep. Agree.
All In was a great event, no doubt. It was a great success for AEW.
But it was an event. It wasn't a great storytelling machine. It wasn't
a card. Yeah.
Yeah. Card.
So going ahead, as we go back to our regular, podcast going for every week. It'll be interesting to see how AEW recovers from, CM Punk's firing, whether they really can still sustain the momentum or they're just gonna drop off a cliff like what we predicted. I'm more interested in the things, the threats for WWE because there's so many things coming. John Cena is gonna be spending the next 2 months in WWE.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is about to return. We didn't even mention Jey Uso.
Oh, yes.
It was announced by Cody Rhodes as well, right?
Yeah. To be a Raw superstar now, so.
Yeah, so maybe they'll take the show seriously as a separate brand. I don't know.
So, okay, I remember seeing Jimmy showing up on Smackdown and then he has his own theme music because he's solo, right?
Yeah.
It was some like, okay lah, got some instrumentals. And then it's like Jay is the one who got the original theme. He gets the good theme, but he had to revoice it.
Oh, yeah, because of his voice. I mean, Jimmy's voice, right?
Yeah, so it's so weird because he basically changed every we to I. You know? I was like,
down since day
one ish, yeah.
No, the funny thing is, right? A lot of people, I saw some comment on Twitter saying like, oh, maybe they skip Bray Wyatt's ceremony on SmackDown so that they can re-record their entrances, bro.
Oh yeah. Walao.
Well, so I don't know. I mean, the Grayson Waller show, Cody Rhodes is a star, blah blah blah. But again, that felt like a Raw segment, and it's good to see Jey Uso mixing it up because Jey Uso going to Raw means he will interact with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Apparently, they did. They interacted on Raw this past like 2 days.
Yeah, like this morning, right? We haven't watched yet. Yeah. But again, I'm more excited for WWE, which is always seems the case. AEW apparently before one last thing to say, they announced another pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream, in October, which is funny because apparently that's the same day that New Japan having a show and they're not gonna have a lot of New Japan stars. So it's gonna be a AEW tribute of a Japanese New Japan legend without any New Japan stars. So that will be
Wait, so it's a tribute show for what?
Antonio Inoki. So it's supposed to be the 1 year of Inoki's passing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I mean, I like the name. The name sounds pretty dope.
Wrestle Dream. Okay.
Yeah, because the biggest dreamers. That's how Tony Khan puts it, lah. The biggest dreamers in wrestling history, Antonio Inoki.
But bro, I don't know if you realize this though. We have something to look forward to very soon. In fact, coming up next, there's another PLE that I'm super excited for, bro.
Is it Superstar Spectacle? Is it happening next week?
This weekend, bro.
All right.
Superstar Spectacle from Hyderabad, India at the Balayogi Indoor Stadium.
Bro,
okay?
I can't wait for Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns for the world title.
Let's go. No. I think the main event is John Cena and Seth Rollins versus Imperium. And that's a bit of a weird one because Imperium is not even Gunther. It's Kaiser and Vinci. I'm like, how?
Okay lah, it's a house show lah. It's a glorified house show.
I know.
No, but it'll be interesting because I know Indian fans are crazy about wrestling, so
they love it.
It will be a cool crowd. So we shall see how it goes.
Bro, Rhea Ripley versus Natalia. Let's preview. There's only 3 matches announced. Very quickly. Rhea Ripley versus Natalia.
Okay, sure.
Wow, this is a very definition of house shows, yeah. Judgment Day, so Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Indoshare.
Yes, our Indian stars are there. Okay, so Jinder Mahal will definitely be there.
In the corner, yes. So Sangha and Veer, Sen Veer with Jinder Mahal in the corner versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
Bro, there's gonna be a Great Khali appearance somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, they might even bring Satnam Singh.
No, don't waste time with Satnam. Useless fella, don't want.
Oh, dear God. Okay, you know what? There are some good Indian stars, and maybe they would. I mean, the audience reaction is gonna be great, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It looks like Sami Zayn will be there, also Kevin Owens. It'll be a fun sort of distraction from the other stuff. But okay.
What's the next big WWE pay-per-view? Is it Crown Jewel again or something else?
Superstar Spectacle is the big one, bro. No, I don't know.
I mean, we are going into October, so it should be Extreme Rules or last year was Extreme Rules.
So you remember? I don't remember these things. How do you remember? Bro. I know NXT is doing one.
Yeah. No, because October was Bray Wyatt's return this time last year.
Oh no! Oh wait, no. NXT No Mercy, September 30th. October 7th is Fastlane.
So Fastlane replaces Extreme Rules. Okay.
Crown Jewel, they assume November 4th, but not confirmed. And then, of
That's
course,
a Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, November 25th. And that's going to be very interesting.
Okay. So basically, we have gonna be a bit of a downtime in September to kind of catch our breath. But we are gearing up. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't mind reviewing Superstar Spectacle.
Oh, yeah.
next
just,
month.
for the fun of it.
Shits and giggles. Yeah.
In the next couple of days, we're going to hear more juice about CM Punk, the whole AEW thing. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was a 2.5 hour.
I know. Let's freaking wrap things up.
It was a Superstar Spectacle of our own on this podcast. I think
if you guys were eating your lunch, you had a very long ass lunch. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Appreciate it, and of course, I hope you guys, us being away for 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, live, we sort of made it up to you guys by having this long ass show. So
yeah.
But
as always, thank you so much for the company on a Tuesday afternoon. I tell you what, if you haven't joined us on Discord yet, feel free to do so. It's in the description, the link that is. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to take your support for the podcast to the next level, feel free to do so. We appreciate you, your time, and all that. And okay, we're gonna get out of here because we got other stuff to do as well. So as always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Take care.
Let me see you try.